deeper, fight harder, and overcome obstacles that once seemed insurmountable. Discover how much stronger and more confident your children can be. Encourage them to participate in a sport when they go to high school.
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
How do you define strength? Is it physical? Or is it mental? Maybe it's both. Maybe it's whatever empowers a person to dig deeper, fight harder, and overcome obstacles that once seemed insurmountable. Discover how much stronger and more confident your children can be. Encourage them to participate in a sport when they go to high school.
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
I'm Doug Russell. A night off for one of the best teams in baseball. The Brewers idle in between home series. After winning their series against the Phillies, manager Pat Murphy said on Sunday his team is poised and ready for the upcoming pennant race once again.
I'm happy for the guys to be in a battle like this against a team built for the World Series. And that's what this whole thing's about, is to try to be in these environments as much as you can and keep your poise and, hopefully win a couple of them.
Tonight, the Brewers open up a 3-game series with the Guardians. Robert Gasser pitches against Slade Ciccone. Game time is set for 6:40. Last night in the Central, the Brewers lost a half game of ground. That's because the Cardinals blanked the Padres 3-0. Also, as the Cubs over the Rockies 5-4 at Wrigley, the Reds blanked the Mets 12-0. The A's beat the Pirates 11-2. The Brewers with a 4.5 game lead over the Cardinals. The Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake up!
With the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with the number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, then there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, be alert for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 get. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red, right, 18 Bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We got exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all we're going to do. Let's go out and kick the tail. All right? 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Get our guys after you and make the play. Be right all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D-hand, C-puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Off and running the Tuesday edition of the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin, 920 in Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere on the iHeart app. Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you, streaming live Facebook, X, and YouTube for our beloved 5 o'clock club members.
Let's start raging, fellas and ladies. Welcome in.
Sun is up. We're ready.
Yeah, in Tuesday when the club goes up, Drew, it always does hit differently when the sun is up. It's Summerfest week, so the party really does go all week long and really will for the next 3 weeks because this was a test of will. This was a test of power and pure determination that you were going to roll through 11 days. Now, they give you a nice little break here, but Thursday is still staring us right down the barrel. Right. 70s, sunny, music, beer.
Can't hardly wait.
Sticks. Oh, it's going to be good.
One of the best times of the year in Milwaukee for sure. And Wisconsin, people come from all over. It's fabulous.
Yes.
And I mean, that's one of my favorite things.
It really is, guys. It really is. We're looking forward to it, but I have a big conundrum. I have a big problem for Thursday night. So Thursday night, Summerfest is going to be great, but we've got this schedule. And, one of my favorite bands, the erstwhile, Third Eye Blind is playing at 10 p.m.
Whoa!
And I always, I never miss a Third Eye Blind show when they're in town. I mean, you only get a chance to see Third Eye Blind for the 8th time once.
Yes, correct.
You know what I mean? So what do
This
I do?
year.
What do I do about that? So this has been a problem for me. Now, also, the Gin Blossoms are also doing a later show, but that's the second on July 2nd.
That's the one before on the last weekend.
So we're off on the 3rd, so I'm not too worried about that one, because your boy can sleep in. But I mean, is there any realistic way I can do the Third Eye Blind show Thursday night? Like really,
Of course you can.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
I'm not going to sleep at all. Spin the clock.
No, I think you can absolutely still get you're not going to get 5 hours, right? Let's be honest. You're talking 3 hours of shut eye.
3 hours, maybe.
And you're building in a nap before and a nap after.
Yeah.
But it really depends on how much do you want to make sure that you can party it up one more time with Third Eye Blind here in 2026.
That's the thing, is how bad do I want it? I mean, Steven Jenkins isn't getting any younger, and neither am I. So these are things
correct,
to think about. However, I've seen the show before multiple times. It doesn't mean I don't want to see it again. It just means it's not like I can't sit there and say, boy, I'm going to miss my chance to see them, because I've seen them. And you know how it is getting on a Summerfest at the late show. Like, that thing can be jammed up sometimes. I got to get home. I got to fall asleep.
Let's just crash at Drew's.
I could do that.
Come on over. Just invite yourself over.
Because you're cool with that, Drew. Just leave the door, leave the code or whatever.
Come on
it
over.
is.
Absolutely.
I mean,
we'll set up a couple of microphones. You guys could do the show in there on the patio the next morning. And hopefully not get HOA called on you like I did down in Florida.
That would be the Bill move. That would be the Bill Schmidt move. I don't know. This is gonna be a little conundrum for me as we go on this week. It's like, how much am I ready to run from the grind? How much am I ready to embrace the grind? How much am I ready to actually try and get it done? So, it's a tough one, guys. But for some reason, I didn't look at it like ahead of time. Like, I just knew they were playing, and for some reason, I didn't look at it and say, "Oh."
You were just thinking your life was fully charmed, not semi-charmed, and you were going to have to make a sacrifice to go over there.
Billy, that's a good one. That's a good one. I mean, what if they play some of my favorites and I'm not there to see it?
Oh, they will. They will.
Man,
they're playing the hits, baby. They're playing the hits.
They're playing the deep cuts that I like. I'm not really
not
sure
playing the world's largest music festival and
Right.
leaving some meat on the bone.
Because when they say it's a weekend event now, it's like sort of Thursday night's not a weekend.
Friday Junior is the test, Drew. This is where this will be if you got
dilemmas.
5 in you. 5 real short nights in you. This is one to probably use.
You know what? It's a decision for Wednesday and Thursday. It is the
That's
5
true.
o'clock club. I don't want to put any wet blanket on. I don't want to, I don't want to be rain on the parade or anything like that. This is the 5 o'clock club. We are partying.
Our 5 o'clock clubbers, Drew. They're all in the same.
Well, I mean,
predicament,
everybody
probably
who's
thinking
up
about
at this time, you have times when you got a late night.
Yes.
The night before. Now, if Third Eye Blind was playing the way Summerfest is configured, they're playing on the north end of the grounds at the U-Line warehouse.
Correct.
Stage.
Yeah.
Sadly, if they were at the BMO Pavilion, be able to hear it from my patio, because that's the stage that I can hear.
Yeah, that would be the home game for you.
Yeah.
Also, you could get right out into the parking lot as soon as that last hit.
I mean, I could I'd sit there on my deck
could hear it.
and hear it. And so, yeah, we won't be able to hear it. Instead, I'll be able to hear the dulcet tones of Charlie Wilson, who was, Uncle Charlie. He's the dude. He was in the Gap Band.
Okay.
That'll be good.
Oh, now we're going. Drop a bomb on me and let's talk. Now we're going.
Gap Band for you.
Well, and the getting out of Summerfest for the late show, you're right. It is a problem. It's not necessarily the easiest one. Are you just gonna flyer it? You just gonna pop up on the bus?
Flyer, man. That's
roll yourself right
probably
over to the
best,
parking lot.
most efficient way to get in and out.
1,000%, not close.
Flyer's not bad at all. I'd be honest with you, I haven't done it in a while because usually I just get a parking pass.
You don't want to drink any vodka in a water bottle on the way down?
Well, no, that's the part that makes me interested in the Flyer. That's the part that
See if
makes
it's still
me
got
more
its game?
curious. Because the Flyer was the party. I mean, that was the best thing going.
That was pretty wild.
When
Yeah,
you were in high school and you realistically couldn't do much, going to Summerfest is one of the most exciting things you could do. You could do it, public transportation. We're taking the bus. And, man, that Flyer in the line to get to the right bus and on the way home, that was some of the most exciting moments of your young life as a 17, 18.
Yeah, you were learning a lot of things.
You were learning a lot of things. You were hopefully talking to a lot of people, maybe some of them female. Those were all the goals. Like, wait a minute, I think I've seen you around. Don't you go to Greendale?
You've been eyeing up that picnic table for a while.
Dude, she goes to Whitnall. Do you know this Whitnall girl over here? She goes to Whitnall.
They know what's up.
Yeah, well, you know, once you already know all the other girls at your school, you want to know the other girls at the other school. So that was always exciting to see what kind of shenanigans people get involved in on the freeway flyer. So that might be one way to go. But then again, I might just try to get in and get out and drive back. I don't know. There's no good option.
Marcus in Iowa, 10 p.m. show for Third Eye Blind is too late for their demo.
He's so right.
It is. I do also appreciate and like that we have started building in some more 4 o'clock headliners though for Summerfest.
Oh yeah,
for the
old people.
For that exact reason, let's fit these into a demo and into a time slot where you're going to go and get some of the daytime specials. You can probably get in from 12 to 3.
Yeah.
Bring a can of fruit or whatever it ends up being.
Beans.
Yeah. Get yourself a little bit of a discount, and then roll over to your headliner.
I told Laura, I can't believe Laura. I'm like, we can go to Sister Hazel. It's at like 4 o'clock. Because like Sister Hazel's one of those type of shows that I'd be interested in. Laura knows them. And it's like, hey, we could get in at 4. Lena could go on the splash pad, and then we could go right over to the Sister Hazel concert, you know? So I do like that. And I guess Third Eye Blind is still big enough where they don't need to do that yet, but I do see it in our future. And when I say our, I mean the Third Eye Blind.
Yeah,
gang.
in there. Yeah.
You know, I see that in our future. Is one day we're going to be on that type of stage. So I don't know. I do like the idea of it. It's pretty exciting. But listen, the reality is we're excited for the big gig. It's coming up.
You've got it actually. Kind of the warm up is tonight because Garth Brooks is playing the first of 2 shows tonight.
Bangers.
Pre-Summerfest. So Summerfest opens Thursday, but the amphitheater will be in use tonight and tomorrow as Garth Brooks visits.
Now, will you get any tones from the amphitheater?
It faces out over the lake, faces the other direction, so it's pretty hard. I'd have to walk a couple of blocks to get behind the amphitheater there. I could take the dog over there and hear the show for free, but I'm actually going to be at the Brewers game tonight as the Brewers open a series against the Guardians, formerly the Cleveland Indians. Guardians in town tonight for a series against your Milwaukee Brewers. And boys, remember, this was like, we looked at this as kind of the tough part of the schedule. They got Philadelphia, the Guardians, Atlanta. This is kind of, and they rolled through Phillies, won a series.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep checking the boxes.
And it comes off the heels of what you thought of. All right, now you got to get fat territory. The good teams, Drew, don't lose games against bad teams. All right, you need to go and win all of your games against the bad teams. Well, they end up losing a series against the A's. They sweep the Rockies and split against the Giants, who are also into that territory, and just rip pages off the calendar while they were getting healthy. And this is, to your point, maybe the toughest part of the schedule in June after a couple of weeks where you got to just not fully cruise, but kind of hit some cruise control. Now you're going to face Atlanta. You got Cincinnati, who's definitely flown back down to earth. Them in Pittsburgh, if you look at the standings, water has found its level there in the NL Central a little bit more. And everything still is eyeing up that series at the end of the month against the Cubs. So this does start waking it up a little bit, and some teams that are going to be in the mix late. However, Cleveland, it took a while to get into the mix last year into the playoffs. And as they're going to be without their number one guy, their future Hall of Famer in Ramirez for the next 4 to 6 weeks, not a bad time to face the Guardians.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. Yeah. The Guardians are basically in a virtual tie with the White Sox for first place. The surprising White Sox in the AL Central.
Surprising. I think they keep waiting for the White Sox to go away, and they're not.
Oh, no, yeah. And the Guardians are the Brewers of the AL, right? It just they do it with some player development, some smoke and mirrors. Yeah. Also just the manager of the year back-to-back years and Stephen Vogt. Him and Murph have had their annual meeting there.
Exactly. The Guardians, man, their run differential is -3. And they're 6 over. So,
that's scrappy. Those are some scrappy.
Scrappy.
It is
scrappy wins.
It's scrappy, or is it like an indication? I mean,
well,
sort of like
their
the
expected win-loss record would be about 500. So they're scrappy, and we'll see. Now, interestingly, Detroit is a -6, but they're 12 under, and they're like not playing well at all. But Detroit, I still think Detroit. Everybody's talking about, they're going to trade Scuba, they're going to trade this guy. Like, I still think they think they're in it because they see the Guardians and White Sox as catchable.
Well, and what did the Guardians come back from on them last year? Like 13 games back at some point. So
it's like, well, let's not,
let's
not pull the parachute yet.
This is the tough thing about professional sports and the armchair GMs that we also enjoy and play as well sometimes on radio. It's always the easiest thing is, well, just blow it up. Well, blow it up and start over. Blow it up and start over. Then you get all these great picks, and then you'll instantly get better.
Yep, we always hear that.
That's not, and I'm looking at it as well with our Milwaukee Bucks. I know we'll talk a little bit more Giannis later, that there's something to having a surefire, I don't know, top 5 guy in MVP balloting as a return for a trade instead of 15 draft picks in a crapshoot roulette-like lottery where you don't necessarily know what you're going to get. For the Guardians last year, some people were trying to say, why don't they trade Jose Ramirez? They're answering the phone and say, how about no? How about no?
Yeah, how about no?
One of the biggest reasons why people come to the games, and he's our face of our franchise. We're not just going to deal him because we're 7 games under. And for the Tigers, they pushed some chips into the middle of the table earlier this year with the Valdez signing, or they might as well keep playing a little bit. It's a lot easier for us on the outside to make the damnation of, I'll blow it up and start over because I don't know that I'll be here to rebuild the Magnetile statue that you're trying to farm system up.
Well, and the other thing is in baseball these days, the idea of selling is not as tantalizing when you can be in a playoff mix with just a couple good weeks. And that's what often happens with a lot of these teams. You can be under 500 right now and be a team that's going to contend for a World Series. I mean, there are playoff spots available now because of the extra wild card that you don't have to be that far off to contend. So I think because of that, less teams think about selling because nobody really wants to do it. It's usually just a place you end up being, and it becomes the best situation for you. But if you can try and win, or if you believe in the guys you have, or if you think like what you said, Billy, no, we're going to try and play. This is the team we put together, and you can rip off a couple good weeks. You go 500 or 5 over or even 10 over, in some situations, you're in the wild card spot a lot of times, especially this year in the American League, where it looks like there's enough, enough average teams, enough parity, not a lot of strength at the top. There might be some teams in the wild card with 84 wins or something like that. So there's really no reason for a lot of these teams, if they want to remain competitive and sell to their fan base that they are, to say, hey, we're going to sell, because all it takes is a couple good weeks and we could be right in the playoff mix.
Right back in it. Yeah. Right back in it. Yeah. So, and big series for the Brewers. They're keeping their powder dry for the Atlanta series over the weekend, though, with Miz.
I was going to say
Harrison. I thought Miz might get the Thursday game. No, he's bumping it another day.
Yeah, back him up. Back him up in there, and let's get you in there for the Atlanta series. And for one that, Matt Arnold was very, very good when he mentioned it to the reporters, Hunter and company, Drew, where he's like, listen, we had scheduled this one in here.
Yeah.
But it does help that we're also going to be in a battle against Atlanta down the stretch for playoff positioning. And you can start thinking about that because you're right now in a group of 3 in a race for 2 spots to try to get yourself and stay out of that wild card series. The Brewers felt how good that was last year.
Like I said last year, you win the series, you don't have to play.
And then you got 2 series wins, and you only had to grab one of them in that moment. I also think for the crew, they back up and they get some of their secondary starters in here. Tonight's going to be a fun night. When there's a debut of somebody that you've heard of before and gotten some pub about for Cooper Pratt, there's always going to be a little bit of excitement. I remember how excited I was when Giovanni Gallardo was going to be the first start.
Oh, yes.
So pumped.
In fact, so that makes an opportune time, a little launching point, if you will. What debut got you most excited? What debut do you remember being excited about, pining for? Was it Jackson Chourio on opening day a couple of years ago?
See, that one, Drew, I was trying to say, and I couldn't remember that one as much as the excitement of that, as much as I was just excited for opening day and Ball being back.
That's right. The 20-year-old. Remember, he was younger than Braylon Allen. We made that joke a lot.
That's a good one to have.
So Jackson Chourio is first, and by the way, he still looks pretty special. And it's like, we're almost numb to it. Like he said, 5 homers in 5 games or something like that, or even.
When they put up his stats for the week with him and Miz being the co-players of the week,
they
were ungodly. They're video game like.
He's starting to rake, and you just got to remind yourself he's like 21. Come on, like what are we watching here? And think about and Brewers control him for a while. You don't have to worry about the contract, and he's just gonna continue to get better and better and better as he figures things out.
And I like the fact that we can be in this situation. Allow yourself to be in the spot where you don't think about the long-term contract. Think about the next 5 years of Jacob Mizorowski being the headliner of the rotation with Kyle Harrison and Jackson Chourio, amongst others, and maybe Cooper Pratt's amongst one of those guys coming up here tonight.
And so there's definitely that level of excitement now that Cooper's coming up tonight, and everyone's talking about it.
There wasn't the juice for Giannis's debut because Giannis wasn't Giannis yet.
No, it was much more Jabari, if anything.
Correct. That was the one we kind of thought was the finished product. There was an intrigue around Giannis for sure as a rookie, just because who's this athletic guy that dunks all the time? You wanted to see what he could do, but there wasn't this
but he was like a colt.
Yeah,
he was
it wasn't like an appointed
It wasn't like the thoroughbred that
he got
to know.
He got the chance like Larry Sanders as the first round pick. Like, come on, throw Larry in there. Come on, throw Thon Maker in there. See what he can do. And then all of a sudden there was a little something to it. Was there any for Bogut? Number 1 overall pick. Like, I can't really. Was there a little bit of juice in that one?
I think there was. Yeah, I think there was. I think it was also like that was a year where the Bucks had the first pick. It's going to be Bogut, but the idea wasn't that he might be the next, LeBron or something like that. I think you knew what he was going to be, but there was an excitement to have Bogut, and the team marketed him for sure. I think that was the thing, but there wasn't an idea that, all right, this guy's going to take the Bucks to the championship or anything like that yet, at least.
That's right. So Cooper Pratt makes his debut tonight. Which debut did you get excited about? Now, the Miz thing and the way he's ascended, and maybe even Kyle Harrison to a lesser extent because he's in Miz's shadow. But Armen, if you're of a certain vintage, and I know I'm talking to Armen, Brewers had Nick Neugebauer and J.M. Gold.
Oh yeah,
they were going to be the dudes.
Cal Peterson.
Yeah.
Like those type of guys were the only hope we had.
Neugebauer was a hard throwing right-hander, big kid, strapping lad.
There was an excitement.
He got hurt.
There was an excitement for Neugebauer when he came up.
I remember Jeff D'Amico's first game when he pitched. It was like, oh, they got this young kid out of Florida.
Steve Woodard had that game against
Steve Woodard had his debut, which was incredible.
And then that was it, basically.
One of the best. And that made the list of best pitch Brewers games, which, by the way, evidently, the game that Miz pitched was the best game in
number one
franchise history. Better than Sheets' 18 strikeout. And it was incredible. Like the Bill James game score, if you're into that, was it. That's
I think it'd be a fun one to talk to Rock about next week when he joins us too. Because obviously he saw maybe one of the other ones in the no-hitter as
Nevis' no-hitter, he walked 5 guys.
Right, that's the thing.
Not dominant.
He was back there and he could tell you there were some sketchier moments in there.
No-hitter, but you had guys maybe touching second base.
And no crazy diving plays. That there was no special defensive play in there either.
That was the thing about Miz. So Cooper Pratt Day in the good land today. He will we think probably be in the starting lineup. You don't call him up to sit.
I was gonna see.
He got here yesterday to get acclimated.
That was the buzz around this building. People were in line to talk to Hunter Baumgardt to get his opinion. It seemed like,
let's go.
It's perfect because as it happened, Hunter Baumgardt, being the enterprising soul that he is,
wanted to line up.
Talked to the Nashville Sounds play-by-play man yesterday, Jeff Heim.
Yeah, this is really good. I heard.
And we are going to spin through that conversation next as a special treat. Hunter Baumgardt and the voice of the Sounds talking about Cooper Pratt, his development as his debut, his big league time arrives tonight at American Family Field. We think. Obviously, we won't see the lineup.
Get better. Come on, Murph.
We won't see the lineup for a couple hours, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be in it. Now, what does that mean? We already had a texter, a 5 o'clock clubber, suggest that Matt Arnold could trade Rengifo to the Guardians because they're in need right now. They need
something.
They need a corner.
There was a guy at the playground yesterday that was giving me a lot of ideas about what they could do with Rengifo. I was excited.
Rengifo.
He's talking to your
he's fired up, dude.
So we got this to talk about. We'll hear from Jeff Heim, the voice of the Sounds, and Hunter Baumgardt next, talking Cooper Pratt. We're talking debuts, and then we're looking ahead because it's getting close to Giannis time. We're going to have a resolution. Will John Horst pull a rabbit out of his hat? Will he get De'Aaron Fox and Ja Morant and keep Giannis here? What do you say?
Hey.
Let's run it. Let's run it back with Ja Morant. And then I just saw some teams are in on Kyrie Irving. And I'm like, he's still getting a check?
Still getting a check.
Kyrie Irving is drawing interest. Like, well, what if they brought him in?
I think he was only 7th season-ending injury.
Yeah. So we got plenty to unpack today. We're glad you're with us. We'll do some buying and selling after 6 o'clock. Club's going up on a Tuesday. The 5 o'clock club's going up on a Tuesday. You're in the Huddle. Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. We're huddled up on a Tuesday. Drew, Billy, and Armen. The 5 o'clock club is open for business. And we got special guests visiting us. Hunter Baumgardt, our baseball go-to guy, our pal. He had occasion yesterday to catch up with the voice of the Nashville Sounds and their radio broadcast, Jeff Heim, talking about Cooper Pratt, who makes his debut at American Family Field, we think, tonight as the Brewers take on the Guardians. Take it away, Hunter.
Thanks, guys. Jeff, thank you so much for the time. Looking forward to talking about Cooper Pratt, the latest prospect to be called up by the Brewers. Jeff, how are you?
I'm doing great, Hunter. Good to be with you.
Really excited to have you back on. I want to start out, just take me through Sunday, what it was like being on the call for the game, seeing the hugs in that dugout, when you first kind of noticed that happening in the dugout, that Cooper Pratt was being pulled and you kind of realized what was going on. Take me through Sunday.
Yeah, it was really cool to observe. I mean, you work in AAA long enough, you're around a lot of call-ups, you see them, you hear about them. And there have been times over the years where you see somebody come out of a game and you start to put a couple things together and you wonder, okay, maybe he's going up. But I'd never seen one quite like that yesterday, and certainly not for somebody as popular and well known as Cooper Pratt. And it's just, if you had asked me to give you 10 different scenarios of the way I thought Pratt might find out he's going to the big leagues or how it might happen, yesterday would not have been in the 10. I've never seen anything quite like that. It was really cool once we realized what was happening. But, as the broadcaster, you're just not expecting it in that moment. The Sounds were playing an important game in a first half playoff chase with Durham. Jared Koenig had just come into the game, so my mind is on his rehab outing. And then I see Rick Sweet come up the dugout steps to talk to the umpire, and I'm like, okay, what happened? Was there a clock violation? Was he wondering if Durham was somehow like batting out of order? I'm trying to think quickly in my feet in that moment, like, okay, what's this about? And I had no idea. And then Rick literally yells out, "Hey!" And a couple of the guys were trying to think. They kind of looked around like, who's he talking at? And he makes this waving motion to Cooper Pratt and waves him off the field. And then it was in that moment where I start to think, okay, there's no reason Cooper Pratt would be coming out of this game at this point in an important game right in the middle, as valuable as he is to the Sounds, unless something's going on. And then I look down in the dugout and I see our head athletic trainer, Jeff Paxson, on the phone. And if the athletic trainer is on the phone during a game, it's probably related to something with the Brewers and more specifically like the big league club. And then I'm just literally going into radio play-by-play mode, but instead of calling a ground ball to second or a fly out to right center, I'm doing play-by-play of what I see with Jeff Paxson on the phone. And then he, a couple seconds later, hands the phone to Rick Sweet. And I don't know that I've ever seen Sweetie on the phone during a game like that. Normally, it's the head athletic trainer. If he gets word of something, he's then going to literally say it to the manager. But I see him hand the phone to Rick. And meanwhile, Cooper Pratt has been, I've gathered, basically been told to, like, hang on a second. And he's, like, standing behind Sweet, and Sweet hands the phone back to Paxson. And a couple seconds later, he just turns around, extends a hand to Cooper, and then hugs him. And then we see the dugout applause. And, it's still one of those moments where I'm very careful as a play-by-play guy to only say what I see or only give out information that I know. So I even said at one point on the air, can I say with 100% certainty that Cooper Pratt is going to the big leagues? No. But can I say it with 99.9% certainty? Yes, because it's like, what else could be going on? And then he gives all the hugs, and then it was like Cooper didn't know what to do, because who knows what his travel plans were going to be. It wasn't like, hey, get to the airport right now. He kind of hung around a little bit, and then he got to hug Jet Williams and his other teammates who were still out on defense when he jogged off the field. So he literally hugged everybody in the dugout. And, again, from upstairs, you're trying to just describe what you see. And I literally did play-by-play of Cooper Pratt getting called up to the big leagues. And I said on the air, like, we're all observing this moment together, because out of the 10 scenarios, if you told me, it probably would have been, hey, something late at night, Rick Sweet has to call him, or something after a game, Sweet would pull him into the manager's office. Like, there's all those standard ways that a manager tells a AAA guy that he's going to the big leagues. It's rarely during a game. It's rarely with somebody as popular as Pratt. I also knew that the Brewers had already wrapped up, and I checked their box score. I didn't see any mid-game position player substitutions, because while I'm calling our games, if the Brewers are playing simultaneously, I'm keeping an eye every so often on either their box score or on my Brewers list on Twitter that has all the different reporters on there, so that if I knew, so-and-so came out of the game, it's like, okay, I'm keeping an extra close eye on the Sounds lineup. And nothing, quote-unquote, nothing had happened in that Brewers game that would lead me to believe, hey, let's keep an eye out to see for a mid-game substitution. So I really had to wait until I saw all the hugs and the high fives, and Rick Sweet especially sort of giving the official word with the handshake and the hug. That's when I was very confident that Pratt was going to the big leagues. But as a broadcaster, you want to be careful, because if I start to say he's going up and I'm not confident he's going up, that is the last thing that I want to put myself out on that catwalk if I'm not prepared. So it was, I did play-by-play of the call-up, and I described what I saw, and I was as certain as I could be, but very careful with my words as well, just in case something else was going on.
No, and you did a fantastic job. I know the video was circling around online a little bit, and I watched it. It was great. That's what being in radio, I love those type of moments, right? Where you get to react on your feet and describe what you see. And as a reporter, as a play-by-play announcer, we get those times, and that's exactly what yesterday was. And so I encourage anybody who hasn't seen, that clip circulating online to definitely go and do that. So let's switch over to what Pratt has done so far this season with AAA Nashville. And I kind of want to give an insight, into listeners who haven't necessarily been following, each and every game like you have, and obviously being there like you have throughout his tenure as a member of the Sounds. Let's start with his offense. 241, 6 home runs, 17 stolen bases. What have you seen from him offensively this season?
He's been very impressive. One of the things I like about Cooper is he's got a great level of confidence, as you would expect. He knows he's very talented, as all these players are very confident in themselves. He can also be very self-deprecating, and I remember interviewing him early in the year after he'd hit his first home run, and I asked him about his offense, and he basically joked but was serious. It couldn't have been any worse than the way I started, because he did get off to a slow start. And he later admitted, I think, that the expectation, I'm paraphrasing for him, but he later admitted in another interview I did just with him last week during our Jacksonville series that, the expectations right after that contract got to him a little bit. And he basically said this game is hard enough to play without those. And so he started to really mentally devote himself to just how did the at-bat go based on his approach and his hard contact versus the result of the at-bat. Because there were a lot of at-bats early in the year when the batting average was still low that he was making a lot of hard contact. But, the box score shows an 0 for 4 or something like that. And people from the outside are like, man, what's up with Pratt? When's he going to start his offense? And it's like, well, he never looked lost. He always had very good at-bats early in the year. He'd had the layoff during the week that the contract got signed. Then the kind of the proverbial weight of the world a little bit, I think, for the attention that contract brought. Plus literally getting used to AAA pitching. And that's something we've seen Jet Williams go through, Brock Wilken, Luke Adams. We really haven't seen it with Luis Lara. He hit from day one. But most of these guys who are brand new to AAA also had to make that adjustment with their approach and how they're being pitched and when to attack. So the at-bats got better and better. The results started to get better for him. He really started, I think, mentally to get a little freer of the pressure of the contract. It seemed, and from what his comments to me were, if I can say that kind of on his behalf without trying to quote him. It all got better and better. The results started to come. I think he got more comfortable. But from day one, it's not like he's getting called up now and his offense is way different than what I observed early in the year. The quality of the at-bats was always there. So I was a firm believer of like, yeah, it's only a matter of time where the offensive numbers are going to start to climb. Then he went on this long on-base streak, and he went one stretch where he reached base safely in like 35 out of 36 games. And the exceptions to those streaks, I looked back later. I was like, oh, he had an 0 for 4 with 2 flyouts that were 100 plus off the bat. Like he was consistently making the hard contact. It had gotten to a point offensively where you were surprised if he didn't make hard contact or if he struck out, just because the consistency really started to show in the last few weeks. Fouling off pitches, spoiling pitches, making pitchers work, not chasing. I really can't recall very many times where it's like, well, he was just overmatched on that at bat. Like it was there from day one. I just think it got reined in a little bit with some consistency plus some results that started to make those numbers that you just gave out climb to where they are now. His OPS is up around 750 now, and he has become one of the team leaders in OPS. And it's really from a great May and a really strong start to June.
And that is Jeff Hem joining us here, Nashville Sounds play-by-play announcer, talking about Cooper Pratt, set to make his major league debut tonight, being called up by the Brewers, number 4 prospect in the system, according to MLB Pipeline. I want to discuss a little bit of his defense as well, because I know coming up to play shortstop, Joey Ortiz has done a marvelous job defensively at the major league level for the Brewers for the last couple of seasons. But you're not losing a ton if you do play Cooper Pratt there more often, because his defense is really good as well. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I don't know that you're losing anything, quite honestly, and I say that with full respect to Joey Ortiz. Cooper Pratt he's a shortstop. He's a major league shortstop. I'll quote our manager down here, Rick Sweet, because he likes to say, like he said it in 2022 all season long with Bryce Terang. Bryce Terang is a major league shortstop, and he would later follow that up with, there are a lot of guys who can play shortstop here and there. Not everybody can play it day after day at the major league level. He used to say that about Terang, and Cooper Pratt, I think, is even a step ahead now of where Terang was then as far as his physicality, his speed, and his strength. And I say that out of full respect to having watched Bryce Terang every day in 2022 and feeling like he was going to be a future major leaguer for a long time, if not a star, and he's becoming that. So Pratt is a legitimate major league shortstop defensively. I'd maybe only need one hand to count the times this year where his throw was not just chest high right to the first baseman, regardless of the difficulty of the play that led to that throw. I've asked our infield coach David Tufo about Pratt. I asked the Brewers infield coordinator a couple weeks ago, Andrew Romine, asking them what makes Pratt so special at shortstop, and their response basically was, he'll make the hard plays look easy. The plays that are more challenging for another shortstop look easier for Pratt. He'll get there a half step sooner, and he'll have the time then to set himself where other guys are making a jump throw on a ball, or he'll have a play up the middle that normally would lead to an off-balance throw, and he's got more velocity on his throws. He's got the range. He's got the arm strength. He's so fun to watch because I literally can't recall very many times, other than, needing only one hand to do it, where there was a slight bobble. And even there was a play a couple weeks ago, and I interviewed Andrew Romine the next day. Pratt had a little bit of a bobble getting the ball out of his glove, but because he got to the ball so quickly and he's got the arm strength, he's still got the runner out in plenty of time. And a lot of other shortstops would bobble and then have to eat it at short and not even make the throw because they didn't get to it in time, or the arm strength would not allow to make up for any kind of a hiccup with the glove. So he's the real deal defensively at shortstop. It's really fun to watch, and some of the funnest plays are the plays that he makes look boring that are not going to be boring for everybody at shortstop.
Yeah, that makes me excited to continue to see the high level of defense that we have seen, because a lot of those ways, you described, Joe, the way Cooper plays defense is very comparable to Joey, just saying that, these guys make these really hard plays look really easy, and it's not easy, but they have such a good, they're so good at making it look easy. So I'm very excited for that. Last question for you, Jeff, is just simply like, what's Cooper Pratt like as a person? What can fans expect for this guy, personality-wise, when he joins this big league club?
Yeah, he's a lot of fun. He's got great personality. Like I said before, he's very self-deprecating. I'm curious to see if he has kept his mustache for the game, for his major league debut. That made some fun news on social media. The Sounds kind of had some fun with it a week or so ago because Cooper started to grow a mustache, and Cooper will tell you that some people in the clubhouse with the Sounds hated it. Some people loved it. He's like, I'm blonde, so you can't really see it. It's not really coming in full. So there's been a lot of fun with that. He's very self-deprecating. Like I said, he joked about his offense and his slow start earlier in the year, but he is also a very confident guy. Everything I also observed, he's a great teammate. For being the top prospect and signing the big contract basically in the first full week of the season, nothing seemed to change in how he approached his job. He loves to do the work. He loves to do the early work, take the ground balls, take the extra work. He is a worker, but he's also a great teammate. I know he treated the guys to different things after the contract. He can take a joke about the contract. He can give out some jokes to his teammates. I just didn't really observe, and I hadn't been around him a ton before the contract had signed, but I didn't observe this whole difference after the contract just because he's got that certainty in his life. He seemed like the same guy, the same work ethic, the same smile, the same, hey, how you doing? Very personable, very confident guy. And he's got that right level of almost cockiness, but just full confidence in his ability, but not to the point where it rubs anybody the wrong way. He's just a really good ball player and knows it, and he supports his teammates as well as anybody else in that Sounds clubhouse. For 21 years old, just a very impressive young man and ball player. You can tell he was raised well, and he's as happy for his teammates' success as he is his own. He's got the whole package.
That is a great look and insight into Cooper Pratt, the 4th-ranked prospect in the system and 63rd overall, according to MLB Pipeline in baseball. Well, Jeff, I really appreciate the time. I know we joked about it before coming on the air here that we had talked for Jacob Mizorowski's debut almost a year to the day. So it's, for some reason, these mid-June call-ups are happening with these top prospects, and it's a blast. Always enjoy getting your insight, and we'll talk again soon.
I'm putting a calendar note for June of 2027 in right now to talk to you next year about somebody getting called up to the big league center. Appreciate you, man.
Absolutely. Let's do it. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Hunter. Thank you, Jeff Heim. Great stuff about Cooper Pratt, who is the newest Brewer, will be, we think, making his debut tonight at American Family Field.
I love that. Hey, man, treat the boys to some things. Let's have some fun after the contract.
Yeah.
I like when he mentions, though, that felt strange. I know a bunch of people on Talking Text are like, wait, why wouldn't they just wait till after the game? Well, they do it differently every single time. And also, hey, we don't want you to then pull a hammy in the final 3 innings of a AAA game.
I was going to say, you take a pitch on the hand. It's like, oh, well, you're not going up now.
No more for you. You got a hammer bone. Same
thing happens with the trade deadline.
You got to get the process started. You got to pack.
Put them in bubble wrap. And it was a cool moment.
I also like that, though. Cooper was like, I don't really know what I'm going to do, so I'm just going to hang out here for a little while. Right. Hang out in the clubhouse for a little while. Now what?
Yeah. Pretty cool. Good job by Hunter Baumgardt. We're rolling. It's the Tuesday edition of the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Huddled up on a Tuesday, Drew Wilson, Bill Schmidt, Armen Sarian. That's right. It's Buy or Sell Tuesday. We'll fire that up at 6 a.m. If you've got some buy or sell propositions for us, please let us know.
Well, we're ready for them. Come on now.
Club's
Getting on
about
that trading floor.
Indeed, and the club's about to close, but we had a lot of good people checking in. Mary, what's up? Good morning, fellas from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Full-time RVer Mary here. How about Miz and Jack? Jack, can't wait to see the Brewers play Pittsburgh. Also, Vinny and Mequan checking in today. What's up, Vinny? And Pink Flamingo. Good morning. Shout out to the ladies. All right, yeah, we got a lot of ladies that listen.
It's ladies. It's ladies' day on Tuesday.
It's ladies' night, I guess. I'm
double bubble
and Tuesday. Yeah, there you go.
Well, double bubble.
We should have a ladies' day.
I think we absolutely should.
Mimosas for the ladies and this morning,
Yes.
Or whatever
frankly, I think every day might be ladies' day.
whatever drink they want.
Paul from Kenosha, what's up?
Also, Danny P in the Shaw said, fellas, I waited until summer to officially join the 5 o'clock club. I will blame my dog for being up this early, but I'm in the club.
In the club on a Tuesday.
However you get into the club, it's always ready to roll.
Club goes up on a Tuesday. So.
That's right.
Talking debuts today after the Jeff Hem conversation with Cooper Pratt. JT in Sussex has a good one and a tough one to top, but not one at American Family Field, then affectionately known as Miller Park, which I think adds a little bit to this one tonight for Cooper Pratt. May 25th, 2007 is a hard one to beat. Ryan Braun hitting there in San Diego,
big one.
A triple and a double in the game. Just started raking. And what did he have, like 10 homers in that spring that you guys were down at?
Yeah.
Just tearing the cover off the ball.
I was back then. I was getting text alerts at Dan Jansen Fest.
I remember Jeff Jenkins debuting in San Francisco, kind of close to where he grew up, and getting a hit off Oral Hershiser.
Yeah,
I think I recall.
So we'll get some
That's
more.
a tough one
We'll
to
get some
beat, too.
more of these, but I know there's going to be a popular one coming up. And I think it's a lot of us. So maybe I should save it.
Yes, save it, Armen.
Okay.
Holster that. So great debuts. Cooper Pratt Day in the good land. We buying and selling as we move forward as well. Again, 877-794-1973. Thank goodness for Cooper Pratt, because we're realizing now that we're without the NHL and the NBA, although the Giannis thing's firing up. We're going to talk about that.
They just did 3 minutes of Monday Night Raw highlights on ESPN. So that shows you where the sports desert that you're walking into.
And there's a pretty great moment last night featuring our favorite PCA of the
good
Cubs last evening. We'll talk about that as we move forward. You are in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
I'm Doug Russell. The Brewers back at it tonight after a well-earned Monday off following a series win over Philadelphia. Since coming to Milwaukee from Boston in the Caleb Durbin trade, Kyle Harrison has been a revelation, 8-1 with a 2.47 ERA, which is good news for manager Pat Murphy, who spent his off day getting his painful hip injury looked at. Harrison and the rest of the team have taken notice.
Yeah, no, we definitely feel bad for him. You know, he's moving around a little slow. So, no, man, it's tough. You know, you want to see him, but he's got the same energy. So he's walking up and down the dugout as much as he can. And no, man, good vibes from him. So hopefully we get him feeling better soon.
Tonight, the Brewers open up a 3-game series at home against Cleveland. Robert Gasser pitches against Slade Ciccone. And Packers rookies are gathering for one final round of OTAs in Green Bay. After this week, the team is off for the rest of the summer. Training camp starts right around the corner, July 29th. Hour 2 of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake
With the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you. You need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with the number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, and there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, Biller for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200, yes. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red, right, 18 Bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We got exactly what we got to do. All right, that's all we're going to board down to. Let's go out and kick some tape. From right, hey, yo. 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Sit our guys after and make the play. Be right, all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Tuesday edition of the Huddle coming at you from headquarters, broadcasting live 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere on the iHeart app, streaming live Facebook, X, and YouTube. Drew Olson, Bill Schmid, Armen Sarian, your correspondents here as we huddle up on Cooper Pratt Day in the state of Wisconsin.
Now.
The young shortstop arrives with a great deal of expectations this evening. Lots of folks were ready. Got to fix the left side of the infield.
Come on now.
Well, here comes the kid.
Hold some people accountable, Drew, and let's get somebody else an opportunity in there.
Here comes the kid. Yeah, absolutely. Here comes the kid to save the day. And what's going to happen? What's the transaction? Don't know. Rengifo got dinged on Sunday.
Yeah, and I guess the only thing that I could one of the things that I pulled from Hunter's interview in the first hour during the 5 o'clock club was that maybe they are going to put this under an injury deal for Rengifo. I kind of figured it was going to be just a thanks but no thanks, maybe a parting of ways, but maybe there's a, why don't you take a month? No, why don't you take a couple of weeks and try to get the head on straight, go down for a rehab assignment and see if you can grab a little lightning in the bottle for the final 2 months. But it seems more like that than just a straight DFA or cash considerations coming back.
And the thing is with Cooper Pratt, again, we're talking about what debuts got you excited. I'm old enough to remember a kid who has drawn comparisons, though he's not quite as tall, but he's rangy, toolsy, athletic. JJ Hardy.
Good one.
Yeah. JJ Hardy arrived and started playing. Right? He came up and he was brutal.
Bad first year. No, he was. He was bad first year.
He was brutal. And Ned Yost wrote it, and Ned Yost like, he's gonna be fine.
And I said
he's got ugly at bats. He looked overmatched, and it's the drums were beating. Send him down. He's killing you. Like, what are you doing? And Ned Yost like, he can play. He's gonna be fine. Let him find his way. And they stayed with him. And it ended up being okay. He ended up being a pretty good player, shortstop, because there were times when he was struggling defensively as well. You bring him up for defense.
Yeah.
And, the offense was ugly. Like he had an ugly, 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then he started to show turns a little bit that first year.
Started to find himself.
It was like Mendoza type stuff, but it was all right. He was, and they had pretty good team that first year, but he was like the main hole. He was like the one people were talking about Ortiz all the time. It's like if we could just get the offense from that position, we could be rolling. But the kind of the thing about that was there was this excitement about the prospect wave coming up. Tell me if I'm wrong, Drew, of Ricky, Prince, him, Corey Hart, and then eventually Braun. And he was the first one to come up and get regular playing time. And he came up and I was like, this is our king. Like I was a little.
This is the one that we were promised.
I rolled up on Marquette Radio on my radio show. On the old Crossfire, or I don't know if it was my show or
it was your show, Armen. Sorry,
this is the guy we've been hearing about.
Any show that you are on is yours.
And I said, "This is the guy we've been hearing about." Like I was not happy about it, but
because Ricky
the first time,
because Ricky comes up for like the ceremonial few games, right? When he first gets drafted, and then in 2005 was when the influx of players started rolling through. The Prince one for me as a pear-shaped youth was one that I, again, will hold in high regard. But another one that started on the road, I think they were in like Tampa or something like that. So he came in they were running through some interleague play. So he was going to be the DH for a number of different games. But then the week after is when they play the Minnesota Twins at Miller Park. And him and Ricky hit the home runs on Saturday. But again, that was a week in, excited to be able to see him. Just because, there's a big dude that's going to be playing first base and just mash homers, and he's got some lineage. That was a big one for me at 10.
That was the thing. We knew they were first rounders. We knew what they were doing in minor league, and for Ricky, he was setting records in college. And we knew Prince was Cecil's kid, and you're like, this is exciting. We got this guy. We have this name, this lineage. They've been playing well, and then they come up in that Twins game. They both, I don't know if it was their first start together or whatever it was. They both hit homers. That was like the coming out party. That was that was the one that I remember. It wasn't necessarily call up day, but it was their
but they're coming out. Yeah, they put their stamp on
their
things.
Entrance. Their
they both hit homers against the Twins, and it was like, oh, this is the future is here. Finally, we've been hearing about these guys forever, and now they're here. But in the first half of his first season in the big leagues, J.J. Hardy,
this was it.
Slashed 187.
Yikes.
293. 267.
And they were patient
when the on base is higher than the slug. That's when we're gonna have some serious problems.
I remember thinking like, all right, maybe this is a defensive guy. Like he might. We were still in that era where you didn't have to necessarily blow it out as a shortstop offensively, and you're like, maybe this is a defensive guy, and he's not the bat, he's the glove, and all.
Not everyone's gonna hit 300.
No.
Yeah, I just
in the second half of his first season,
he turned it around. Yeah,
he slashed 308, 363, 503,
and then you start to see signs.
But the first couple months were brutal, and they wrote it with him. They said, he's our shortstop. He's going to be fine. Ned was like, he is going to be fine. Now, the one thing about JJ is he didn't strike out a lot.
That's a good point.
So it wasn't as heinous as it just looked like he was using a Nerf bat. It was like he wasn't making a lot of contact.
It was just a Jello.
Wasn't making a lot of solid contact.
He was a lot of ground
balls. He hit 1 homer in the first half of his first season and 8 in the second half.
He kind of ran like, I don't know how you describe it. He ran like Rumpelstiltskin. Like he kind of ran like you wouldn't call him a speedster. He kind of had an awkward way to run, and it was like, okay, what is this?
He had pretty good speed, as I recall.
He did really find some power too there after a number of years.
Well, that was the thing. All of a sudden, he started pulling up the power numbers.
He was an athlete. Now he was 6'1", and people are like, he's tall, and Cooper Pratt's tall. Cooper Pratt's like 6'5".
He's a big son of a gun.
Cooper Pratt looks like Ripken and A-Rod, and those guys are the era of the big shortstops. It was Ripken, A-Rod, Noma. Like there was a big shortstop era in the late 90s and 2000s. So shout out to Cooper Pratt, who's going to get the call. And JJ, like, again, they stayed with him through thick and thin, and they were building towards something. And lo and behold, in 2008, he was a key guy on the team of, with a bunch of his contemporaries, the guys that he played Halo with deep into the night in the minor leagues.
And then all of a sudden, and again, sometimes you pull somebody and you subtract them, that it's going to be a massive loss. Then when they broke him off and you get Carlos Gomez, he was obviously a key part of their teams rolling forward. The interesting thing for Pratt to see, and they're clearly going to stick with him. There's a 50+ million reasons why they give him the backing and the excitement. But I wonder how much, Drew, this will that they have to discuss this, and that there's a true balancing act here of trying to win now while building for the future and continuing to have some player development. Like when it works, it's a lot easier. But there were some times there for even Jackson Churio in that first month and a half where Murph talked about it at length. I don't know how much longer we're going to be able to do this. I don't know how much longer we're going to be able to do this. And then lo and behold, he has the first 2020 season for a 20-year-old in Major League history. Like it's got to be a fine line, and it can't be the easiest one to walk, especially for the on-field managers who, for sure, you want the guys to develop. You want them to get better. You want to be patient and work through all these things. And Murph's seen more baseball than anybody else. But there is a point where you're sitting there in the dugout in the middle of the 5th inning saying, hey, I am trying to win this game in the next 3, and we're going to have to try to find somebody else that's going to help. I think about it a lot with Luis Urias a couple of years ago. They were doing everything they could to hand him the shortstop position. They're like, dude, just take it. Right here on a silver platter. Here it is. And he booted a couple of balls, and there was a
time to look elsewhere.
May, and Counts goes to the podium and goes, yeah, if we're going to be playing playoff baseball, we just can't do that. We can't do that. Sure. 2 days later, they had Willie Adames. So, like, there is we are going to develop the young player. We're going to do everything you can at the big league level to make sure you have some success. But we are going to need to have some success because we're trying to win right now, and we've been doing it at a really good clip.
That's the thing. We're trying to win, and we're not in rebuilding mode. And before Urias, to me, it was Orlando Arcia. That was another one where it's like Orlando Arcia is next. He's the next shortstop. He's a prodigy. And we were excited for him, had a decent rookie year. But after that, I'm sorry, he just wasn't a good ball player after that. Like, he couldn't hit the ball consistently enough, and his defense kept sinking and sinking, where he kept making plays that he shouldn't make. Now, he had good moments. Game 163, he had 4 hits, and he had some contributions, but it just sometimes doesn't turn out that way, even when you do anticipate a big call-up, even if you do have the great rookie year. So, and it kind of brings me to my first, if I could use this as an entrance to our Buy or Sell Tuesday, guys. It brings me to one of my first thoughts when we talk about these prospects and the Brewers and the excitement of them coming up is this is the best team ever, like performance-wise, that so much of the conversation from fans and from us has been about the prospects. But it's not like this team is bad in rebuilding, and that's all the hope we have to look forward to. The Brewers are currently one of the best teams in baseball and are a wagon that have been rolling through the National League. Yet the emergence of these young prospects that we have now and the ones coming up usually dominate our conversation, which is not a bad thing. It's actually a great thing, right? It means the Packers. It means the Brewers have, this depth of talent, this depth of organizational ability and options to keep reloading and rebuilding. But I just think it's funny that of all the teams we talk about so much about prospects, this has got to be the one that's doing the best on the field. Because they're in first place, and it's almost like that's boring for us. Let's talk about these guys coming up.
Yeah, I mean, and are we appreciating Churio enough? I said this about Giannis when he started to emerge as a star. It's like, you got to watch this guy. And it almost felt to me like there's the national, the NBA hoop heads, the geeks, right? The hardcore, the Bill Simmons mafia.
Mm-hmm.
They were on Giannis early. They're like,
early
watch
on.
This guy. You got to watch this guy. Are you watching this guy? And I feel like it took Milwaukee a while to kind of like, oh yeah, he's here. He's arriving. This is it.
It was more the off-field stuff for Giannis than the on-the-court stuff.
I feel like Churio is like, are we paying enough attention? Like his 13 games in June, 7 homers, 18 RBI, slashing 414, 453, and 845. That's pretty damn good.
He's got a 2 WAR already.
And he missed a month.
Yeah,
he missed a month. He missed a month last year when they win the 14 in a row. He was on the IL for some of it, and I think that maybe is where some of it almost gets forgotten or dismissed. But Drew, what he does in the playoffs in his playoff game log is disgusting so far.
Good point, Bill. Yeah,
and they were saying on the MLB network, he's a top 10 hitter by stats. And so he's a top 10 hitter in the league. DeRosa's all over him. Like he's a top 10 hitter in the league. Like you were not paying attention.
I got to say also, if you're not paying attention to Mark DeRosa's breakdowns of hitters,
he's terrific.
You're missing somebody that Vinny Rottino, I think, loves baseball more than any human being I've ever seen. Right? Like you watch, you see Vinny Rottino and he starts breaking down guys in the high school ranks and the prep ranks. You're like, this guy just loves the art of baseball. Mark DeRosa loves the art of hitting, and they're lucky that they sometimes only show him from the waist up during some of those breakdowns because he is so juiced. Pause right here. Look at this rotation. This Too good.
He's
Best.
Great analyst. I don't know. He's a great manager in the WBC.
That is very true, Drew. That is very true.
That's
I'll
the next
keep
step.
him on MLB Central before I want him back in the dugout in 3.5 years.
But he's terrific. Yeah, I agree. And so, yeah, in that class, I put Rutino, Dillard.
Timmy
loves
Dillard
him
is
some ball.
absolutely in there.
Loves him
Yes.
some
Loves
ball.
game.
Yep.
Love ball.
Loves him some ball.
You can tell how much
and DeRosa.
Tim loves it too, because he sees everything through the pitcher eye, and then like in the midst of somebody offensively having a great day, he says, "This is a tough spot to be on the mound." This is a tough one to be on the mound. You could see him gritting his teeth for those games in Las Vegas. Wow, I'm glad I don't have pants on here.
Man.
All right. So Cooper Pratt Day in the good land. What debut were you recently or just historically excited about? Whose arrival on the scene were you excited about? And from the 608, Tony Mandarich.
I was just going to say, can we get to the bad
we're
ones
doing
here
all-
now?
John Jefferson for the Packers.
Okay, we're doing all sports.
John Jefferson, all sports.
Well, because I got a couple of not baseball ones, and one that is rather embarrassing, but I was through the moon and could not wait for the debut of a Milwaukee Buck free agent signing named Drew Gooden.
Oh yeah, what a pickup that was! Right
In the early high school for me, I even shaved in on the buzz cut that your boy had, the very small little Drew Gooden patch at one point in the back of the head.
Oh come on!
We had a 5 years, $31 million that you're signing for Drew Gooden. This guy is coming in easy 14 and 10 a night.
No, he was
easy
a good player.
14 and 10 a night.
Yeah.
He's going to continue to elevate you. Big Drizzle was going to take this thing to the next level. And Good and Plenty just didn't do it. He was great locker room presence though.
We used to broadcast from Media Day at the old Cousins Center, and we had him on, and it was Media Day, and it was like his first training camp with the Bucks. And we're just like, all right, so what made you choose Milwaukee? He's like, I'm not gonna lie, it was more money than everybody else.
What
He's
are you
not my
guys talking
favorite
about?
player. Like, he didn't say anything about the fit and the culture and the city and want to bring a championship. He's like, I'm not gonna lie, it was more. They offered me more money.
They gave me way more money than everybody else.
I can't believe you you shaved your head with the
100%. 100%. This is also coming off 2009, 2010, where you are an eyelash away from winning your first playoff series since 2001.
Oh, we were excited.
And all you need is somebody to hit an 18-foot jumper that has some kind of size.
They were like, this is the missing piece. We have an inside guy.
Then there were
size.
a lot of more missing pieces that you realized. And being able to, stack success, as Coach Mike McCarthy would say, of what you had in your first year.
There are more holes in the boat than we thought.
But I'll tell you this, and if there's a lot of players that this fits into, right? Our friend Brian Butch, if he came 2 decades later,
oh sure,
Butchie's an easy $100+ million player.
That's what
in the NBA.
That's what I always tell him, and he doesn't like that.
Drew Gooden, if allowed to shoot threes,
would have been a different player.
Would have been a markedly different player if he came back 15 years later, because my man would fill it up from behind the arc. I don't know that he ever attempted more than one a game per a season.
Yeah.
So that to me, Good and Plenty still could fill it up. Now he gets to put a headset on, and for the folks that do pain themselves and watch Washington Wizards games, they get to hear Drew Gooden on the call, which is a pretty good treat to have because your basketball team is awful. That was that's a tough one to call back to, but
pretty good.
Very proud for that.
I always say that about Manu Bowl. Go watch the highlights. Also, Corey Maggette. That was a big deal.
Oh yeah,
when
big deal.
The day the Bucks signed Greg Monroe, the Moose, we were absolutely going crazy.
Oh yeah, it's because he's a Georgetown guy or what?
Yeah, no, just it was a big deal to get a free agent like that, and he at the time was a good dominant big and all these things, and I don't know. I just think that
and they never played with his back to the basket ever.
Yeah, he had some moments, but I think we were really excited about him. I mean, the excitement over Suppan. I mean, we laugh now, but the excitement on Christmas Eve when the Brewers got Jeff Suppan was crazy. Now, these weren't call-ups, but it was anticipated. Paul from Kenosha, I remember a young guy, you might have heard of him, Robin Yount in 1974. 2 years later, he plays another guy named Henry Aaron. And Robin, Drew, spent like 15 minutes in the minor leagues, basically. They gave him a little cup of coffee, and then he came all the way up, and they said, we're just going to let you develop in the big leagues. That's how this is going to work. Yeah. So that's one that we got from Paul and Kenosha.
Yeah, that's one you're not seeing again, right? Like you're rushing, they're getting players up as quick as possible now. Maybe not that quick.
Maybe not.
Maybe not that quick. Even though we did have a 20-year-old playing left field for a majority of the season 2 years ago. That's a bygone era of being up there that lightning fast. Giovanni Gallardo, I do remember delisting it up and waiting for that day and begging my mom to go to the game. And we had something to do, so we couldn't go, and ended up watching. I think he had like 9 or 10 strikeouts in his one of his first games. I want to say it was against the Giants. Really good outing. Because for all of those players that we mentioned, Braun, Fielder, Weeks, Hardy, it was like, does anybody throw the ball, or do we all hit? Can we find anybody that can pitch consistently that is also going to be homegrown? And then all of a sudden you get this one right on top of it. Oh, now we got somewhere to go. Ryan and Muskego with maybe my favorite one. It's got to be the debut of the Huddle on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin 920. No questions, guys. Come on, Ryan. That's what we like to hear. We appreciate that. We were very excited for this debut too. But there are also some, like in minor league baseball, you don't ever want to jinx it.
No, you don't.
I don't think a lot of us wanted to jinx anything, and we're to make sure that we were all going to be able to have this much fun.
Exactly.
Wake up in the 5 o'clock club with everybody, and now you blink, and I think we celebrate our 6-month birthday this week.
That's hard to believe.
Hey, now.
That's
How about that?
It's flown by just like every show does, just because of how good it is doing with you guys, actually, and
It's gone
and
fast
the quality,
for sure.
the quality of two legends, Drew Olson and Bill Schmidt. But I got to say, don't let me forget this one. Freddie Peralta. Now, maybe it wasn't as anticipated because it was a surprise call-up, because I think he had to fill in for Chase Anderson.
That sounds right.
13 strikeouts in that debut. If you remember, he went
Fastball
nuts.
Freddie.
In Colorado,
on
right?
Mother's Day.
On Mother's Day. It wasn't a big anticipated
Right.
debut, but it was spectacular.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. I like
Because he
that.
was kind of the third wheel in that car that you were hearing down in AAA with the young guys, right? Burns and Woodruff, you heard a lot of, and
like Peralta
guys are decent too.
And knew he was good, but didn't know the team's plans for him. They tried to make him a closer for a while, if you remember that.
Yeah.
So I didn't know exactly what was to be for Freddie, other than, okay, all of a sudden we saw his fastball. We saw what he could do. Freddie fastball, like, all right, this guy just K'd 13 guys and he's wearing braces. I'm happy about it.
That'll play.
You know?
That'll play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you were digging that.
It was microwaved. It was quick.
And he had that.
But what about that fit? What about that 11 days for the wait and the debut in a Packers uniform for Micah Parsons earlier on?
Man,
this
that
year?
was just, there's nothing. Well, I shouldn't say nothing when Reggie, but the excitement, the hype for him coming in that first game when he came
at home, run out of the tunnel last.
And then when he entered the game, the pop from the crowd when he entered on that third down, put his checked in on that third down.
Oh, yeah. Loving it. All right. 877-794-1973, NicoletLaw.com. Talking text line. When we come back, Scott Dolphin's going to join the party because it's halftime of the Tuesday edition of the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Continuing the Tuesday edition of the Huddle, Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you. Halftime has arrived. Scott Dolphin from the country station down the hall is here, our halftime correspondent, and Armen welcomes him. Streamers can't hear it, but little Garth Brooks, who's in town tonight.
Now. Yeah, 2 nights in a row. Garth, I was looking at his itinerary, his tour. He's only doing right now Milwaukee and London. So we're in pretty rare air up there. It's
That's
us
pretty good.
And Hyde Park. Those are the only venues he's playing over the next
Hyde
month
Park's
or so.
a big.
How often does that happen? Where
I
you
don't-
only get those 2 shows like
One-offs.
Yeah, I would say for him, I'm going to play whenever I want to play. I know he does a lot in Vegas too. But
Summerfest writes some big checks.
yeah, you know what, Drew? This is
when they wanted.
I'm amazed that this is the first time he's ever played Summerfest. He's technically not playing Summerfest, but it's the first time.
Yeah.
He's been in Milwaukee many times over the years, but this is the first time he's played the amphitheater.
That's wild.
Well, I remember
It
the
is.
hype when he came to the Bradley Center, right? Wasn't that the
Did
last?
a couple nights,
And
right?
he did
Nice, yeah.
multiple shows.
Yeah.
And there was so much
Are
hype.
you
for
doing
that.
2 shows a night?
He did 2 shows a night for 2 nights. And then before that, you have to go back to the late 90s. I think he did 3 nights or 4 nights at the Bradley Center.
He's kind of one of the OGs of the modern country.
I think he ushered it in
right?
some ways.
Didn't he?
you know? Yeah.
And it happened in a hurry for him. I mean, he went from opening theaters for other artists to exploding on the scenes with songs like Thunder Rolls and Friends in Low Places.
Friends
and the
in
rest
Low
was history.
Places. That one's going to stand
I
the
gotta play
test.
that.
I've told it
time and
before,
die
but had a
bars forever.
5-minute exclusive one-on-one as a baseball hack looking for a notebook because he was playing for the Padres in spring training. Played a game at Maryvale.
That's
And
amazing.
he was pissed that I think he made an error and he was like over, and he didn't really want to talk about his performance that much. But I got him give him a couple minutes and he
Loosen up a little bit
talking
in there.
ball.
A lot of pride. Former D1 athlete at Oklahoma State. He was track and field guy at OSU.
So he was actually trying to play.
Yeah.
He wasn't
Oh, yeah.
Will Ferrell
He
going
wasn't Will
around
Ferrell. He
doing a
was
bunch
in
of
camp,
spots.
and it was like it was kind of a publicity stunt, but it was also like he was legit trying to play.
And made contact. I mean,
Yeah.
Mets, Padres, Royals, maybe?
Yeah, I think he did like three springs in a row. He kind of pinged around.
So was
but-
this just off of like MJ saying, "Hey, I'm the best in this. I'm going to go also play baseball," and then everybody else that was the best in their field was like, "You know what? I also played some ball. Let me get in there and
That's a
see
good
if I still
question.
got the spikes."
I don't remember if Garth did it first before MJ.
I think he
MJ was
might.
mid 90s, right?
It was probably after MJ.
Okay.
Yeah, probably after, but it was close proximity, I think. And he just liked ball.
I love it.
He's just a ball fan. He wanted to play.
Let me
And
see if I can get in here, fellas. Come on now.
Yeah, I mean, to have that kind of power.
Long toss on the road.
He threw javelin. That's not easy to figure out. He threw javelin in
Wow.
Oklahoma State.
Wow.
What's so funny, William?
Nothing.
Javelin.
Armen, he
It was
threw
just
javelin.
very out of left field.
It's a unique.
Yeah, Steph
event.
Sutton's coming out of left field. That one is out of the Bernie's
so-
Terrace.
I kind of set him up. I said he was a track athlete at Oklahoma State.
He
I
did.
love
I
that.
just think javelin is a unique event. I don't know. You don't see guys throwing javelin. that
No,
often.
you see that in the
So-
Olympics, but you don't think about it much in college.
Yeah.
I don't think they
Anyway,
have it in high school, do they?
Garth
he sold
Brooks.
170 million records, and he sold more than Elvis, and only second only to the Beatles in total album sales overall.
Wow.
That is some nasty
Wow.
work,
So-
man. That is amazing.
Spring training 99. He reports to PR. He's hanging out with the Padres, mostly as a pinch hitter. Played left. He was 1 for 22. Got a hit against the White Sox.
Got one. Come on now.
Listen,
Then,
it's a different level of ball. You know,
with the
and
Mets,
he's used to the javelin.
he went to the Mets in 2000. And if I'm not mistaken, did the Mets go to the Subway Series that year?
Yeah, they did.
That was that.
They might have.
That was the year.
He was 0 for 17 in camp, but he drew 4 walks.
There we go. On base.
He did this, and he was raising money, I remember, for children's
Yeah.
charities, or
Moneyball
probably
guy.
from
St.
St. Jude.
Jude, yeah.
St. Jude, probably. And then he fired it up again in 04 with the Royals. He went there, went to Surprise. He had I think that was like a 1-game deal, got an infield hit.
All right, so
Good for him.
two
And then
hits.
2000,
That's it. Yes.
then he waited in 2019, went to Bradenton to celebrate the 20th anniversary of his foundation. And he went to the Pirates because he grew up rooting for the Pirates due to a childhood admiration for Roberto Clemente. And so he
Like
played
that,
in
okay.
2019. So
Well,
sprinkled over, but I remember that was, he was raising cash.
now he might be too big. However,
What's this?
this sounds like he needs to have one more at bat. Sounds like he needs to be in a sold out stadium.
All right.
Maybe over the 4th of July
So-
weekend in Iowa City, he needs to be taking one more at bat with the Savannah Bananas.
Here's
Like,
a
it
que-
sounds like he
Wouldn't
needs
that be
one
fun?
more in
All
there to
Here-
walk out
here's
of the
the question
dugout.
for you
kids will be like,
logistically.
Who's this guy?
Given his love of baseball and the timing, could they have him throw out the first pitch at American Family Field and then shepherd him downtown to the show at the amphitheater?
That's a great question.
Make a lot of
Potentially, they might worry about traffic or something, but it'd be doable.
Well, they did that for Snoop. When Snoop was in town to do his Potawatomi show,
that was a day game, though.
That was a day game, and it was the day before
game.
the show, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, you're right. It was day before the game, and it was the day game, and also then he went up.
That remains. By the way, today
Yeah.
we often talk to Bill Schroeder on Tuesdays, but he is out of the country on vacation this week, and so he'll join us next week. But Rock, that is still one of his most memorable times in the booth. Was when Snoop came in for an inning with him and BA.
Oh, so good.
We'll still talk about it. Classic. So. All right, Dolph, we have Cooper Pratt making his debut tonight. Maybe Garth Brooks will come and sign a ball for Cooper Pratt.
He should come take some BP.
But Cooper Pratt is the story. It's Cooper Pratt Day in Milwaukee and in Wisconsin writ large. And I'm wondering, Dolph, how can you not be romantic about baseball? Is there anything like, other than a starting pitcher who's a prospect that's coming up to make, his debut, like a shortstop? There's something like even extra romantic about a shortstop.
It's a big deal, and there'll be a nice crowd there. The kids, his heart's going to be going 1,000 miles an hour, 21 years old. What a meteoric rise. And now he's on the big league club. Just breathe, I guess, if you had to give him some advice.
He's got like 80 million reasons not to be nervous, right?
Yeah, he's got a nice
67
backing.
million.
He's got a nice firm base, and as he said in the interview, he's like, no, I don't really have to worry about anything. No. But then Scott Boras is just sitting there, except getting better every single day because you really want to. And he's like, other than getting better and getting to the show, they're picking a good day for him because it is Little League night tonight. So that place is going to be rocking. There are a couple of midweek games where that place will be loud. Little League night, Drew, is one where the official scorer's ear is going to be ringing here tonight.
I know there are the anal retentive people listening to us will say it's not summer yet until the actual solstice and all that, right? But it's summer in Milwaukee and in Wisconsin, and you could tell over the weekend.
40,000 every night.
Because it's like, school's out.
Yep.
And it's like the light goes on for the Brewers. Like we always talk about that with El Jefe and the Admirals. Like, and you get to like Christmas time, hockey season's here.
Boom, wake up.
They've been playing for a couple months, but hockey hits like around that Christmas break when the college kids are home and the crowds start to realize that it's winter and we're bunkering in. Well, in baseball, at least in Milwaukee, when school is out, like, oh boy, then it's a tougher ticket and it's like the longer lines and more parking jams.
Well, and because Lake Michigan is so damn cold, that's the first time really we can start. The roof was open. I went Friday night. I'd been to a handful of games. That's the first time I'd been at an open roof night, and the first time I wore shorts was Friday again when the Miz did his.
Yeah, the world's largest refrigerator might be cooling a little bit tonight. Like it might be that for the folks going to the concert. Will they be feeling any effects, Drew? You're giving us you're down there every night. Should be okay.
It's comfortable.
Well,
it's going to be a
it's
fun
in the
time.
60s. It'll be a little chill, but it's not.
No, it's not. It's not.
The big concern, especially for his show tomorrow, is going to be rain. They said we could see between 1 inch and 3 inches of rain, depending on where you are. 9,200 seats are covered at the American Family Insurance Amphitheater. Unfortunately, that means about 14,000 of them are not bleachers and lawn.
Yeah,
so you bring the poncho. That's what I used to do.
The poncho.
It's fun up there, though.
It's kind of makes for you got to just
a little bit of a mudslide, but that's when it makes it fun.
When I saw a Simple Plan and some 41, I brought a poncho.
Oh, there you go. The key is that it's going to be like warm and dry out on Thursday for day one of the actual Summerfest.
Yeah.
And so it's like a rinsing of the grounds. We like those late night, overnight rains just to rinse off the grounds and get it ready.
I haven't even looked, and usually I do a scouting report and see, okay, where am I going to be when, where am I going to be where, but I haven't even batted an eye yet at the Summerfest line for Thursday.
Thursday night, you can run into Armen at Third Eye Blind at 10 o'clock if he decides to stay for the show.
I don't know, man. I told these guys that's my conundrum is that I have to
get a nap during the day and you're good to go.
Armen,
it's not that easy. You can get a nap, but it's like I'm gonna get out by midnight, 1 o'clock. I mean, we're gonna get up at what time? So it's tough.
If it's okay with the family, the couches in the lounge are awesome. You just come right here.
I know I could do that. I mean,
absolutely.
I don't know if I want to do that.
I won't call that one fake hustle like I did after the Packers game that you were.
Oh, it's not fake. It's not fake hustle. I mean, you can call it whatever you want. I really don't care. The reality is, I would like to get some sleep that night.
I can tell you
what to do about this.
So I'm off Friday. I don't know if I've told you guys.
Oh
man, smart man.
Another veteran move by Dolph.
I learned my lesson.
You're teaching us how to do this radio thing.
I don't know when it was.
It.
Like 5 years ago, 7 years ago, Blackberry Smoke, one of my favorite bands, played. And they ended at like 11:57. And by the time I got out of there and got on, I rode the flyer, got back to my car, got home. It was maybe 2.5 hours sleep, and I struggled mightily the next day.
See, I know I'm gonna. I mean, I'm gonna put myself.
How charmed of a life you want to live?
No doubt. Well,
am I?
Here's the semi.
Yes.
Here's the thing. Like, I'm glad that I'm not doing the afternoon show. I had fun doing it down there in the Fish Bowl and from 3 to 6, but it's nice not to, because they put a lot of the old people bands at 4 o'clock, and now they've started to do that.
Outside where you
Now, I've said this for years for Summerfest officials, and Summerfest is like this great polarizing event in Milwaukee. It's a great event, but a lot of people, like, the two most popular pastimes in summer are going to Summerfest and bitching about Summerfest.
Ooh, I like that. True.
In Milwaukee.
Yeah.
That's the truth. But I told them, like, why don't you manipulate it so that your headliners aren't going on at 10, put them on at 8, put a local band or a middle band kind of behind them.
Or sure, exactly.
And allow people to have that option of being there at night and then cruising out at 10, and then the hardcores can stay till it closes until they kick them out.
I wonder if that would affect their beer sales.
I'm not sure. I mean, it's like,
I don't think it would.
You know,
if you're seeing who you want to see, and it's a nice day, why wouldn't you buy one?
Put the Skrillex folks up at 10 o'clock, and you're still going to have plenty of club music rolling
kids,
at 10. Yeah, they'll stay in those.
Next Thursday,
somebody to buy beer.
We've got one of the hottest guys in country, Tucker Wetmore, who's had 3 straight #1 songs. He's playing at 10:15 next Thursday night. Tucker
Wetmore, baby. Yeah,
that's a good pause.
Well, he has.
That's like
his last 3 have been
all
absolute
#1 songs.
rocket ships.
Brewers. Brewers, sometimes you just have great names. Like I always said, Scooter Jeanette's not going to be an orthodontist. He had to be a second baseman, right? Tucker Wetmore, country star, or maybe kicker for Alabama or Auburn. Or
100%. He could have maybe fit in and pledged a frat or two in the SEC.
Brewers had an outfielder back in the day, and now he's a hitting coach, Turner Ward. Another great baseball Southern name, Turner Ward.
Got a picture with him once on picture day at County Stadium.
Turner Ward.
You don't see many of those jerseys around.
Tyler Houston was another guy. That's a big league name.
That's a baseball
he was
name.
A first round pick. Tyler Houston.
Oh yeah,
that's a good.
Tucker Wetmore.
Anytime your last name is or first name is a city, it's a cool sports name.
It is pretty cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like Dallas and Houston.
Yeah, well, like in Four
Dallas,
Christmases, where Robert Duvall named all his boys after the cities in which they were conceived.
Oh yeah,
he had Dallas, Orlando, and Houston, and Denver.
You don't hear a lot of kids named Oklahoma City, do you?
As a
maybe a Tulsa in there.
As a wise hockey man once told me, everybody who comes through Wisconsin and plays for the Badgers in hockey, they end up with daughters named Madison, dogs named Bucky, and they drive red trucks.
Drive red trucks.
That's it.
That's the stamp.
That's the stamp. Like cardinal and white is
You
their
don't
color
need one
palette.
of those. You don't need one of those little alumni license plate holders. There'll be signs.
I mean,
there will be
my
signs.
dog
good to meet
Bucky,
you
my
guys.
daughter Madison. Come on.
These are my kids, Mouston, Stoughton, and Wapaka.
Yeah, Milwaukee just doesn't lend itself to a first name, does it? Not like Madison does.
Not really.
What are you talking about? You don't think Glendale Saurian's on the way? What do you?
No, I thought you guys were working on Waukesha Sarian.
Waukesha. That'd be for you,
But
Billy.
Glendale,
South Milwaukee, sorry.
Glendale oozes money. Glendale.
Oh yeah.
Glendale Sarian
That's
the
true.
third.
That's true.
That is true.
That's more
That's a
like
good
an old
one.
time, like
Bayside.
You could definitely go to Marquette.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Like a Harrison Kensington the third, like
Right.
Glendale, yeah.
With a name like Glendale.
That's pretty funny.
That's
what would
pretty
be the
good.
best city name to make a name? I'm just
Pewaukee.
Yeah.
No.
I think you'd get made
Pewaukee.
fun of. I think you'd get.
No.
So-
I think Kenosha's would be a cool name for a girl.
I don't know.
No,
I don't think so. I don't think that's gonna play.
I tried.
No.
No, my wife's
Pleasant
from
Prairie might
Kenosha,
work.
and she wouldn't go that way. So, Dolph, you have your game plan. You haven't charted it out yet. You and your boys just wander around and find good music wherever you find it.
And that's why I always tell people, they say, oh, this lineup just sucks. I don't know. It's just because you don't know a band's name doesn't mean you're not going to love a band. And some of our best discoveries have been at 3:00 in the afternoon.
We
or
discovered,
4:30.
KB and I discovered the Mascot Theory. And we saw these guys like, where are these guys from? They're really good. And then we saw a bunch of people with like Madison shirts on. They're from the Madison area. And then he DM'd him like, oh, we listened to your show. It's like,
And
oh,
boom,
okay,
right in
boom.
there.
We're like,
Yes.
boom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's just
so-
it. I mean, you'll see people that you've never heard of and like, oh my God, how I've never heard of these people before, these bands or these artists. Because
Yeah.
they're really good. And that's every year at Summerfest.
Yeah, keep your eyes and ears and your mind open, and you can stumble into some stuff that, oh, I'm going to check these guys out. Okay.
I think back over the years and being on the country station, I mean, we had Miranda Lambert at like 3 PM, Florida Georgia Line 3 PM. Kip Moore played at like 1 or 2 o'clock, and now he is like a Milwaukee legend. Anytime he comes here, he sells a lot of tickets.
Huge. Well, and then the great Phil Vassar. I mean, Milwaukee's own Phil Vassar, who's huge here.
He has embraced our town and Summerfest and vice versa over the years.
No doubt.
Did you guys mention this? Dilly Dan alerted me to it. Tucker Wetmore, former college football player.
That's right. He played at
Montana Tech.
He's
Ooh,
he's a
okay.
Pacific Northwest guy. I think he's from like Yakima, Washington. He was a wide receiver.
I was
Armen.
just gonna say that sounds like a slot receiver, Wes Welker type.
Not a big guy. I think he's like 6 foot.
Yeah.
Well,
gritty lunch pail guy, does all the little things.
Yeah, it doesn't say what position here, but that's what Dilly Dan said.
He's a wideout. Thank you, Dilly Dan. You're right. I forgot that Tucker played football.
Well played. It's
Montana Tech. I'm sure they're the minors.
Right. Hey, Dolph, thanks for popping in, and happy Cooper Pratt Day.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Thanks,
It's going to
guys.
be a lot of fun tonight at the old ballpark. You are in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. It's your pals from the Huddle. Drew, Billy, and Armen bring it to you on a Tuesday in the good land, Cooper Pratt Day. Brewers going to unveil their new shortstop, we think. I didn't call him up to sit, so I would imagine he's in the starting lineup somewhere tonight. We'll find out.
They better have him in there. Little League night, Drew, this is a perfect chance to sell some jerseys.
No question. Have those, order some extra P's and R's and.
Yeah, get them ready,
so
get them rolling.
Out.
Couple of folks maybe doing the 2-for-1. They'll get the Pratt and then the Madej and just leave the Madej empty until you figure out what number he's going to be.
Time for Who's Hot, Who's Not, brought to us by Donovan Jorgensen Heating, Cooling. Our friends, they're employee-owned for 40 years, doing the good work here. They can help you with either an install, a tune-up, or service, whatever you may need in terms of your HVAC, and make sure that air conditioning is running because there are going to be days when you need it. Maybe not this week, but soon we will be we'll be smoking in the furnace in the humidity. So get your stuff tuned up. Billy, who's hot and who's not?
How about Colt Keith, Detroit Tigers? You might not think that the Tigers have anything in the hot category. He's got 4 bombs on the season. He's got 4 bombs in the last 4 games, 3 of which came last night. He had not homered in the first 60-plus games of the year and now has 4 in 4 days. And the Tigers had a 9-3 victory over Yordan Alvarez and the Houston Astros yesterday. Also in the hot category, the Chicago Cubs center fielder Pete Crow Armstrong hit for the cycle yesterday and then was promptly picked off while getting a standing ovation in a 2-1 game at Wrigley Field in the 7th. Pete Crow Armstrong tipped the cap to the fans, gave a salute, and then was promptly picked off at first base.
A weird cycle. Reverse cycle. Homer, triple, double, single.
Hardest ones out of the way out of the game.
Super rare.
And then he got picked off in a 2-1 game, which is not a good look. But in his next at bat, he had a sack fly to kind of help them, and they ended up walking it off.
I was going to say, to slice into the lead in that same game, later on in that game, was your boy Cole Carrig. Cole Carrig, 24 years old, Armen, launched a 3-run shot at Wrigley Field, and at that point gave the Rockies a 4-2 lead and had the content creators in Cubs land just losing their absolute minds.
Oh my God! Another one! I can't believe it!
How does this happen?
Like and subscribe. Thank you.
Also in the hot category, Dustin May. This dude fired a gem against the Brewers a couple of weeks ago. And last night was even better. A 1-hit complete game shutout, walked 1, struck out 9 Padres in a 3-0 win. And fellas, as we mentioned a little earlier, we've been waiting for, water to find its level here in the NL Central. And it kind of is. Pittsburgh 9 games back as they dipped under 500 over the weekend. And the Cincinnati Reds, they're in a little bit of a free fall, 34-37, 10 games back of the Crew. The one team that hasn't moved and maybe a little bit better than we all kind of thought they would be, the Cardinals. They're not going away as much as I would have thought they would. They have a bunch of different pieces like May last in the offseason that were some kind of lottery tickets, and a couple of them have come out big. He was perfect into the 7th inning last night. Good one for Dustin May there.
He's throwing well.
In the not category, actually, this might be in the hot category. Brendan Sorsby thought he was going to make $6 million to play college football this year. And instead, he is going to enter the underutilized and potentially big hitting NFL supplemental draft coming up. Yesterday was the deadline for Sorsby to have to declare for the supplemental draft and attend and be into an NFL camp in the 2026 season. He admitted to placing bets while on the Indiana Hoosiers football team. On Indiana, there's a large amount of different bets as well that went through, but he was ruled eligible to play during a appeal with a local court in Lubbock, Texas. Amid, though, a Big 12 lawsuit, Texas Tech said thanks, but no thanks. Sorsby ultimately opted last night to head to the NFL. Wow. They haven't used the supplemental draft, Drew, since 2023 in the NFL. That was when your boy Jalen Thompson was picked with the 5th round bid. There are some people thinking that this could be a very, very high pick, though, in the supplemental draft. Teams are always thirsty for quarterbacks.
No question. That's Who's Hot, Who's Not, brought to us by Donovan Jorgensen Heating and Cooling. This portion of the program has been brought to you by Game Day Men's Health. Check them out online, GameDayMen'sHealth.com. See if they can change your life. A free consult. Just make the appointment. You don't even have to call anybody. You can do it online, show up at a clinic near you, and find out if they can change your life for the better. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Moving forward, we're going to have our superhero of the day. We got a wake and bake story hosted up for you. And we got to talk about the elephant in the room. Now that the NBA finals are over,
Here
the
it
Giannis
comes.
sweepstakes is going to go into full swing in the next week. Buckle up.
You ready?
You are in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
I'm Doug Russell. A night off for one of the best teams in baseball. The Brewers idle in between home series. After winning their series against the Phillies, manager Pat Murphy said on Sunday his team is poised and ready for the upcoming pennant race once again.
I'm happy for the guys to be in a battle like this against a team built for the World Series. That's what this whole thing's about, is to try to be in these environments as much as you can and keep your poise and, hopefully win a couple of them.
Tonight, the Brewers open up a 3-game series with the Guardians. Robert Gasser pitches against Slade Ciccone. Game time is set for 6:40. Last night in the Central, the Brewers lost a half game of ground. That's because the Cardinals blanked the Padres 3-0. Also, as the Cubs over the Rockies 5-4 at Wrigley, the Reds blanked the Mets 12-0. The A's beat the Pirates 11-2. The Brewers with a 4.5 game lead over the Cardinals. The final hour of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake
with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, then there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, be alert for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 yes. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red right 18 Bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We know exactly what we got to do. All right, that's all we're going to out to. Let's go out and kick the tail. All right? 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep it. Sit our guys after and make the play. Be right all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D-hand, C-puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sid says, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Huddled up on a Tuesday. Drew, Billy, Armen, bringing it to you. Welcome in, you 7 o'clockers. Slackers.
Where have you been?
Where have you been? We've been here since 5. Drew, Billy, and Armen from headquarters, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison. Streaming live, Facebook, X, and YouTube. Pancake eaters. Armen, come on.
Don't knock anybody.
I love
man.
pancakes.
Come
You guys are
on.
missing my point. I go to Honeyberry and get
This
that
just
big
in from the
stack.
National Pancake Association. Bleep waffles.
Waffles good, pancakes good. And then in college, it was like, what can we put into the waffle maker?
Dude,
Well,
and
what can you put in
that would
there?
teach you a lot of fun things, dude. I'm telling you, when you throw brownies into the waffle maker for the first time and you realize that you can throw ice cream on that in 3 minutes instead of 13
Giddy up.
minutes, 40 minutes, totally different deal.
Giddy up. Hit us up, 877-794-1973, NicolaLaw.com. Talk and text. I'm going to get into some buy and sell propositions. But first, need our current electric superhero of the day. It's too early to anoint Cooper Pratt, but it is Cooper Pratt Day in Milwaukee because the prospect, the shortstop prospect, is going to make his debut, we think, tonight. They didn't call him up to sit. I think he'll be in the lineup. It's a safe bet that Murph has him penciled in at short. What they do beyond that, the roster move, we don't know. Smart money's on Rengifo, maybe. See you later.
But most importantly, stay tuned to the baseball pregame show that Hunter Baumgardt fires up at 5:30.
Right.
You'll get all the lowdown for it. Can you guys help me out with the vote here today on our superhero of the day?
Yeah,
Because
let's do it.
I thought it was a pretty sweet deal. I thought it was a pretty exciting moment when I heard that Venus and Serena Williams were going to play at Wimbledon and they were going to double up one more time and play again.
Yeah.
The Williams sisters, Drew. Tennis is found daughters. They made a damn movie about it.
They did.
And Will Smith made $100 million.
He did make a lot.
And apparently our tennis guy is not excited for the Williams sisters to be playing at Wimbledon. Because I say, Armen, how cool is this? And he goes, I mean, yeah, they're playing doubles.
I mean, I think
They're
you
playing
want him. This
doubles.
is not Jordan coming back from the Wizard. Like, this isn't that type of thing.
Well, hopefully they're better than Jordan on the Wizards.
Well, I'm just actually okay. That's a totally different. Let's do that a different day because Jordan's numbers weren't that bad that first year. All right, but let's do that different day. But my point is it's cool that they're going to come back and play doubles, but it's not the same as like competing for singles titles in the tournament.
Yeah, they're competing for a doubles championship.
That's like the senior tour almost in some ways. It's not, but it's like, come on. It's like one step away from when Pete Sampras and Andre were like mic'd up playing tennis and like senior events and stuff like that. And
Andre Agassi on the pickleball court is an electric factory.
Andre's a monster.
And if you haven't been watching that, you're missing out because he has been kind of fun.
He's an
I
absolute
thought this was
monster.
going to be a great moment. I thought this was going to be fun,
It will
exciting,
be. It will be
something
cool.
for tennis people to sell because their boys are all out, right? Sinner is Sinner going to play in this one, or is he going to get hot again?
Well, I don't. That's a good
Oh,
question.
sorry. Is he gonna cramp up again?
Which is maybe
When I have USD on him over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook?
You and me both, brother. Don't you think when Alcaraz dropped out of the French, I was all over that future like white on rice? But it didn't happen.
I'm on this one.
All right. Like a I don't know. What. All right. I messed that up. I'm not mossy enough. But listen, hey, good for Serena and Venus. They're gonna play doubles. I don't think nobody cares. This hurts me because I played doubles in high school and nobody cared about doubles. They cared about singles. Doubles is a different game and it's a creative game, and I played it, but no one cared. So listen, if people care about singles, so that's what it is. But I don't think anybody will be watching this doubles tournament.
Oh, so Drew, I don't know. Can we name the Williams sisters our heroes of the day?
Sure.
So we got to give it to Garth Brooks. I thought it was a great moment. I thought it was exciting.
I think so. Let's not let Armen be the wet blanket here.
I am that guy, I guess. Hey, listen, and Jordan wasn't that bad with the Wizards. Look at some of the numbers he was giving.
He was not good.
He played 82 games.
Okay, don't give me the Barkley one here. Yes,
Yeah.
Barkley's numbers with the Rockets were not bad. They're very, very good for average NBA players. But when you're a top 30 player of all time, they're not great.
They're not great.
Well, it's like we're impressed with LeBron, what he's doing now. It's a little bit similar to what Jordan. Like LeBron's
don't
not
do
at his
this.
peak, but he's still filling it up.
Wait a minute.
Don't do this. Don't do
No,
this.
come
Don't
on.
compare those
Wait
numbers.
a minute. Yeah, come on.
Don't compare those numbers. That's not going to look good for your boy.
That's not going to look good. No.
Well, okay. I'm just saying.
LeBron's numbers right
482.
now are I think kind of dwarfing what MJ did with the.
Are they? Are they? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to just go off counting stats here, but I mean, all right, he did give 22 points a game. All right, Billy, 22 and 5. All right, I'm just saying. It's there. It's not bad. Now,
Who was he playing with?
Yeah, he was playing with I heard those guys. Yeah, that I saw like
Shooting a sweet 45%.
Four guys from
Yeah, it was not
at the
great.
Y that you pick up off the Y at the noon run.
There was like some podcast where some of the guys were like, yeah, they didn't like playing with Jordan because he's stunning their growth. It was Kwame Brown, obviously.
Oh God.
Oh, Hubert Davis, Rip Hamilton was on that
Kwame
team.
Brown.
Popeye Jones, Brendan Haywood, Christian Leitner. Let's go.
What a-
Bobby Simmons.
Bobby Simmons in that one. Let's
Stiffs
go
are
into that
us.
mix. Stiffs are us.
I'm
Also,
impressed by both. Can I just say I'm impressed by all of it?
well, yeah,
They're all
be
my
impressed
heroes.
by it. Yeah, it was a glowing moment.
Yeah,
It was an awesome time. Jack Ike also is one of our favorites. Wisconsin into Florida. Daily tweets about Wisconsin and Florida sports history. Fellas, on this beautiful buy or sell Tuesday, are you ready for history to repeat itself? 50, check my math, 51 years to the day.
All right, 51 years. We're talking about
June 16th,
75.
1975.
Okay.
The Jabbar era ends in Milwaukee.
Oh, no.
The Bucks
Yeah.
officially traded Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to the Lakers for Brian Winters, Junior Bridgman, David Myers, and Elmore Smith. This day 51 years ago. Now I believe we're still a week away because this is in the time where and I know this is difficult for maybe John Horst is working in a secret bunker. Like Jim Osarski said, I saw him on a Celtics podcast yesterday. He was talking about the secret bunker, the secret layer they had when they were doing the Dame trade. Drew, people on the staff didn't even know that they were working on that one. Maybe that spot, De'Aaron Fox, John Morant.
Let's go.
Maybe DeAndre Ayton, right? Maybe you swap him out, Miles Turner, save a little bit of money, and maybe somebody that can actually offensively score the basketball every once in a while. Put the ball into the hoop. Maybe grab rebounds for a 7-footer. That would all be nice. That would all be nice, and not letting family business out as well would also be a good one. Maybe that's what they're working on. But I think in the next week, the Bucks are once again waiting for somebody to ante up and improve their offer that have been on the table for a while now. Miami's offer basically seems like it's been the same for Giannis for the last 7 months. They haven't budged. The Bucks could have accepted it. They haven't for a reason. They're waiting
for
for somebody to beat it. And maybe that is the Boston Celtics helping out with a couple of movers and shakers to improve that.
And I think part of the key is this. If Giannis tells everybody, I want to go to this team, all right, okay, then we just took away leveraging power for them. So, like, you have to sweeten the pot, like, then to make us give you this guy, because he basically says he wants to go with you. Therefore, you are now negotiating against yourself, Miami. So you have to do it. So, I mean, John and all those guys have to look Pat Riley in the eye and say, okay, come on, come to our side.
Well, are you okay? So that's so we've wrapped up Current Electric.
Yeah, sorry. Callcurrent.com, superhero of the day.
That's
Venus and Serena Williams.
But when it comes to buying or selling, it would be the rumors you're seeing now that are starting to spin into, like, the Bucks could get John Morant independent of Giannis, still sending Giannis and having John Morant come back as part of the haul instead of Tyler Hero in his $33 million contract.
There's got to be different ways that you can get other people, because again, the Bucks are very much not. It didn't seem interested in keeping Hero if that would be the case.
The rumor yesterday was Giannis and Bobby to Miami, and the Bucks getting John Morant from Memphis along with Kel'el Ware, Jaime Jaquez, which would make my boy Johnny Vegas happy.
He's a good player, yeah.
Pelle Larson from Miami, and then the 13th pick, as well as first round picks in 31 and 33, and then Memphis would get Tyler Hero and Jovic.
Those late picks are interesting to me. Like a 31 and 33 Miami pick. Yeah, very much could be very, very fruitful for you, because Giannis at that point would be very much on the back end, you would anticipate, and Bam would too. So maybe they're lottery picks and you can strike gold with the new lottery system. I struggle to see this group punting for 4 or 5 years down the line. Like the way that they're structured right now with the assets they don't necessarily have, it's going to be difficult to be, you're not making a ton of decisions off this all the time, but you're making some. It's going to be hard to sell tickets for the next 4 years of like, well, wait till 2033 when we have 2 first-round picks and maybe 2 lottery.
You have to kind of jog your memory, though, that John Morant was like an MVP candidate.
Really dynamic player.
And while playing for Taylor Jenkins, who is now the Bucks coach. So
until he had his troubles off the court, he burst on the scene. It was this kind of that guy.
He was like an MVP candidate for a while, for a quick minute, and then he had some problems. But coming to Milwaukee, do you want to just focus on basketball the way they do in Green Bay with football?
Good place to do so.
And you got a familiar coach who's helped nurture you. The idea that John Horst could somehow, like, we're going to trade for John Morant and keep Giannis happy, keep him here with a point guard, and like keep him here with, that I'm not ruling that out yet, but I don't think that the logic is flawed if you're trying to get, let's put it this way. Would you rather have John Morant or Tyler Hero? He may be from Whitnall, Billy, but I'd rather
I'd much rather still have John Morant as a basketball player. No, that's true. And the tough thing for me is, as I've watched a bunch of these, and it feels like the conversation is more legitimate than not. I struggle with all of these packages to not want Jaylen Brown, right? Like I get he's 27, and I get that, you be replacing Giannis with, I don't know, a guy that was in the top 3 in MVP balloting a year ago.
He's the best other player.
The best player that you'd be getting out of here. He's a former 3rd overall pick. Clearly. You'd have to pay him $300 million, right? With the extension that's rolling in here. I know that that's not exactly what a lot of people are thinking, but nobody else is making any money on the team.
Right. He won Finals MVP.
And so like there's things to it that I struggle with. I know where they're at with their roster building and with their roster construction. Unless you're getting all of your picks back and then some, and maybe it's Scoot Henderson and a couple of players from Portland, who's a former top 3 pick, and you can try to get your Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I don't know that it always is the right move to just say, oh, we're going to Oklahoma City it. We're going to draft all these great players after 7, 8, 9 in the draft, and we're going to hit lottery tickets and we're going to win. We're going to find Jalen Williams is going to be all NBA as the 12th pick in the draft. That guy doesn't come around very often, and I don't know that what this group has shown in their last decade plus, that they're great at identifying that guy in the draft and then developing him.
I think that's part of the problem, is the drafting has not been good. And it is sort of, you obviously have a better chance to get good players when you're picking high in the draft, top 5 and all that stuff. But it is sort of a hopeful notion to think that it's going to be that easy to rebuild. Obviously, the more picks are better because it's a numbers game. You can't exactly predict, who's going to be great and try and project humans going forward. You kind of need a little luck in there, and the more picks you have, the more likely you are to hit on one of those guys. SGA is a great example. You mentioned Jalen Williams. But I think that's part of the problem. So coming back, you say to yourself, well, would I like a little bit of a known quantity? there. And then you have, you talk about the Wares and Tyler Hero, those guys, they're known quantities, but then it's like, are we going to be just the 2012 Bucks, like hoping for an 8 seed? You don't want to be stuck in that purgatory either. So it's a difficult position to be in, because you want to make sure if we are going to make this move, it would be seismic. We're going to have to be willing to make the seismic move and say, we're actually going to give up, our greatest ever asset, our greatest ever player. It better be for the right things, and we better do something with it to make it worth its while. And that second part, I think, is the toughest part.
Well, and
is the drafting part.
If you compare it to what just did 51 years ago, I don't know that he's your best asset ever. Right? Like at that point, Kareem would have been.
That's a
right.
fair
Like
point.
at that point, Kareem was
Sure.
the unquestioned best player in the league.
Yeah.
And was still with the situation of, obviously he wanted to go to Los Angeles. So maybe you were backed into that corner.
Yeah, he said LA or New York, right?
But
Drew?
this one,
Yeah.
I think there's real questions as to around the league of people wanting to give Giannis the $275 million, Drew, and feeling pretty comfortable that he's going to hold up. Where at that point, there wasn't necessarily those kind of questions
Not at all.
with
No.
Kareem.
Yeah, it was different.
Because I mean, that package got you two guys that have their numbers up. Like I know it wasn't great, but it got you two guys that retired their jerseys. It's a pretty good start.
Absolutely, it did. 877-794-1973. A buy or sell Tuesday in the good land.
Do you buy that they're just going all future assets, Drew, or do you think that they're in? I guess the other thing is we don't necessarily know what some of the Jimmy Haslam edict might be for John Horse.
I mean, part of me says you got to keep the lights on. Their best business is being in the Giannis business, obviously, but you got to keep the lights on. Like you can't.
There's going to be a business dip when he leaves, no matter what.
There is.
That's just the reality of they have to be
There
prepared for
is.
that. Yeah.
But when you've got the arena and stuff, do we have the stomach for a 4-year rebuild or a 3-year? I mean, look at the Spurs. They were bad for what, 8-9 years?
Yes, correct. And then the NBA saw what they built and they said, you know what, we're actually going to not allow you to ever do that again.
Well, and they had to hit the right time. They hit the right prospect. It wasn't just getting the number one; it was at the right year to get the right guy.
But what about what the Knicks have built? Like you got a bunch of guys with grit, and you got a bunch of guys that Jalen Brunson, kind of the face of the league now, but almost by default. Nobody wanted to make him the face of the league.
True.
Lefty point guard. He's not. There's
undersized,
flashy or athletic about him. It's like a normal dude.
Yes, 100%.
Killer. So, go find the next Jalen Brunson. Well, easier said than done. But you can build a team like, Cat's a nice player, but he's underachieved at other places.
And the right mix of the guys with the right time to be able to strike.
The right guys.
On the flip side, I don't think they're going to repeat either. And the Bucks did what they did that one year. They made their run. And the last 8 years have been 1 year, I'll say 1 year wonders, but teams that have
been one and done
and haven't been able to sustain. So if that's the goal, it's like, can you rebuild and make a run for one? You can, but it's still, you have to be the best out of, a group of teams to win the championship. And just because there aren't as many dynasties doesn't make it that much necessarily.
Well, maybe
easier.
maybe what you just touched on there is the recalibration we have to have. Yeah, you can make a run and win one. Right, like as sports fans, it's always been, well, if you can't win 3 or 4,
what's the point?
What's the point if you don't win multiple
Ain't nobody
titles?
winning 3 or 4 anymore.
And there's also the same amount of teams trying to win that aren't, just because there aren't dynasties. Orlando didn't make it happen. The Pistons are going to sit around wondering what we have to do. The Cleveland Cavaliers are going to sit around saying, well, why can't we be there? Everyone wants that top spot, and the percentage chances to win are the same no matter what. So it's always going to be tough. It's like, can you put yourself in position to make the run, and then can you make the run? Because a lot of teams are going to say, all right, I like my starting hand here. Let's see how the flop and the turn, you have to have things go your way in the end. The Knicks kind of went all in to build this team, right? In some ways. I don't know if the all-in's the right
They traded 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges. That's pretty all in.
They did. They traded for Karl Anthony Towns, and it worked out for them. They weren't super deep, but it worked out at the right time. Jalen Brunson had the run of his life. So, you have to kind of set yourself up with the right players for that run. And sometimes that is getting the right, the Pistons were bad, then they got Cade, and it didn't take them long to turn around. That's the one thing you can possibly say, is if you get the right picks and the right guys, maybe you can make a quick turnaround, but there's no guarantees of any of that.
No, I mean, let's be honest. The Jalen Brunson, what one's harder to replicate? And this is a difficult thing to laugh at, or not laugh at, but a free agent signing of a former second-round pick who then becomes the most clutch player in basketball. And also leaves $100 million on the table so you can add better players around him, or drafting a guy in the middle of the first round that ultimately becomes an MVP. I mean, they're both pretty unheard of.
Yeah.
Pretty nuts.
But one is maybe more replicated than the other. And the one that you hit might be an easier one to call back on. I don't think it's an easy spot to think that you're grabbing another international guy and he's just going to ultimately be awesome. But my belief that the Bucks grab a Nate Ahmet from Tennessee and all of a sudden they're going to develop him into the next phase of the league, their player development hasn't engendered a whole lot of that kind of confidence.
That's the thing. That's the thing, Billy. And you have to, if you're not going to have, I hate to say it, if you don't have great skill in that department, you need at least high picks. You need guys that can't miss. The Spurs were blessed with Wemby, all right? And then they built around him with Dylan Harper, and the other guys did work out. You know, obviously Castle. They got a bunch of picks at the right time that all played well, but they had a centerpiece. Oklahoma City had a centerpiece, still has, right? The Knicks got it in a different way, but it turned out to be a centerpiece. You still need that centerpiece to make it happen, and then you build around it. Well, that's what we thought with Giannis.
Yeah.
And it was that.
It was.
And it continued to be that until now you're going to choose to do something
won
else.
the championship.
No, I'm saying I agree, and that's what it is.
That's what
Jokic
it
in
is.
Denver. They're going to sit around wondering, why are we doing it again? It's like, okay, you can't do it every year, but you're trying to. And then everyone's looking for that secret formula. And maybe there is, maybe there isn't one.
Alex in Cambria said, I heard Giannis might end up going to Minnesota. I know the Timberwolves would love to somehow make that happen.
Somehow, but
I don't know how they're
good luck.
I don't know how they're crafting it. Jaden McDaniels will be a nice one coming back, but we're going to need quite a bit more, Drew.
There's another team.
Need quite a bit
There's
more.
another team that everyone thinks, hey, they're next, and then we're still waiting for them to be next. We're still waiting for Ant Edwards to be Jordan. Like everyone's like, oh, he's Jordan. Okay, well, he's really good. Let's see if he's Jordan.
Is he better than Jordan on the Wizards? I'm kidding.
Now.
Kidding.
I'll say he is. Yes.
All right.
I'll say yes.
877-794-1973. You are in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. We're telling you now to give you a heads up. Father's Day is Sunday. We'll all be celebrating. Probably cooking something on the Blackstone, right, Billy?
Well,
firing up some meat.
The final and official resurfacing is going on this week, so it'll be ready to go on that Blackstone for a Father's Day breakfast. I can't wait to throw them hash browns down.
Father's Day bundles available at ironjoc.com. Check out the Iron Jock bundles. Make Dad look cool. And in the lightweight t-shirt hoodie, like it's kind of a great material there. It's fantastic. The lightweight hoodie with joggers for $100. Can't beat that deal. You got the polo and the golf hat. That's a bundle for you too. And socks and workout shorts. Hook something up for Dad and get something for yourself. Go to ironjoc.com. And while you're at it, think about the Milwaukee Admirals, milwaukeeadmirals.com, $49 hat trick deal with the 2 vouchers for a game in October, November, December, and an Admirals hat. They have some great merch. Check them out at milwaukeeadmirals.com.
The hat trick deal is a winner, and also the hats are sweet. Like that's the other part of good hats that you're gonna be able to get in here, and make sure you're doing that pretty quick. You can also go and talk to the folks in the in the offices, and they're ready to hang out with you.
They are there
and help you out, figure out what you're gonna get pops.
Yep, they are there tonight. We mentioned Brewers Cooper Pratt Day in Milwaukee. Garth Brooks in town to kind of kick off Summerfest with 2 shows. First one tonight at the American Family Insurance Amphitheater. American Family Field will be rocking with Brewers fans as the Brewers take on the Guardians. Cooper Pratt going to make his debut. We're buying and selling. Hit us up, 877-794-1973, NicoletLaw.com. Talk and text line. Are we entering the last days of the Giannis era in Milwaukee? Potentially.
Feels like we're getting into that zone, Drew. Jimmy Haslam and company said, we're going to figure this thing out before the draft. Well, the draft is 1 week, so we're figuring it out pretty quick.
And as Jim Ozarski pointed out and others, like none of this stuff, none of the smoke that you're hearing, none of the rumors coming from the Bucks. They lock that down.
They do.
John Horst operates from a bunker.
He moves in silence like a G.
Well, and I also wonder how much of it's even coming from the other side, right? Especially the Boston one. Like Brad Stevens ain't letting a lot of that stuff out. And I enjoy the Simmons podcast. Especially during NBA playoff time. He's gotten stuff before, but there's also when you focus on the rumor conversation, which I enjoy a lot, right? Like MLB trade rumors coming around the last week of July. I'm all in on the other possibilities. Your boy did win Gossip King when he was in high school as that senior superlative. So I enjoy the little tidbits, Drew, and the fantasizing about what could be on the matchups of here. But I don't know if the 3 teams that are most linked in here, Miami, Milwaukee, and Boston. Obviously, Milwaukee with the player, the other 2 trying to acquire. Well, one's been trying to get the guy for a year and a half. So at some point, Pat Riley is throwing enough flares out there like, yeah, we want him. Yeah, we want him. Yeah, we want him. Is anybody else going to take him? And it feels like there's been the waiting for the Bucks to get a better offer, waiting for Miami to sweeten the package, or also, as there always is, deadline spur action. Now the next week before the draft, I think this is when all teams start really understanding, hey, if we're going to make this move, and it would be a seismic move, I think we got to do it now. We got to try to tap it in. And that's where you're hearing more different teams start entering the fray, whether it's acquiring Giannis or one of the offshoots of a Hero or Jaylen Brown. Like you heard the Clippers a little bit yesterday. I still think that's a great idea. If the Bucks are able to somehow walk out of here with the 5th pick in this year's draft, then you have 2 top 10 picks. And again, you're not necessarily going to be winning anything over the next couple of years, but then you get some groundwork to be able to have young players develop hopefully together under Taylor Jenkins and company.
Then to build and do that thing. So
and you grab Darius Acuff, who I think would be maybe the best opportunity that you'd be able to grab.
That's Billy's guy. Remember, he said it here first, folks. Darius Acuff.
You have been on that for a while.
Yeah, I think he's the cleanest, the closest to a pro ready guy that you're gonna grab there. Because otherwise, the top 2 guys are going to go, and I don't know what ends up happening with Darren Peterson.
He's not going. No, he's not. He's only going to the Wizards.
I ain't going to Utah.
I'm not visiting any of you guys. I'm not meeting with any of you guys. So
are you buying or selling that Utah is going to be able to trade up 1 spot and flip with Washington and go and get their boy AJ DeMonsta?
I think they'd like to, right?
I think they desperatlet's want
the cost. Yeah, but what's the cost? Cost benefit analysis.
And if I'm Washington, I'm saying, well, yeah, let's talk.
Let's deal.
Let's have a conversation. Because right now, Washington's also one of the more intriguing teams. Do we really think they're going to take the number 1 overall pick and that guy's going to play with Anthony Davis and Trae Young?
It's a good point.
Most will forget that those guys are on the Wizards.
Yeah,
They're
still
an
getting a
enigma.
check.
Because they didn't play at all for the Wizards this year. They both got traded for and then promptly sat to be able to tank.
They're an enigma because in some ways you think, oh, they're ready to win now or make a move now. In some ways it's like, are you betting on the future? Like, what are you really doing over there? A lot of people have scratched their head about that. But they have so many Wisconsin connections, we kind of pay attention to the Wizards. Or at least they've had that.
They've had a couple. They've also cut a couple of those ones as well. Yeah.
That's fair too.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right, because Johnny and those guys, he's gone now. We do have a comment from, I wanted to get this in.
Come on.
From Dobler. He was talking about Cooper Pratt. It is Cooper Pratt Day. We're still talking about it. Can't wait to see how Murphy's tutelage with Pratt will turn out. Happy days are here again. Yeah, they weren't gone. Like, this is the good old days. Like, we are in first place. We're
the golden age of Brewers baseball.
I want people to not forget that, even though we're excited about the young players. Happy days are here again. I'm like, what am I missing here? We're not like the terrible baseball team here.
Well,
So
but
that's all I'm saying.
for Dobler, though, he has been watching enough Cooper Pratt, right? He's been seeing a decent amount of the Nashville Sounds. So Dobler might have the better idea of, hey, you guys are in for something when you get a look at this Cooper Pratt guy at the big league level.
True. Yeah. That's true.
Now, the minor league slash lines that I saw folks throwing around on social media were not getting me all that excited for what Cooper Pratt's going to do at the big league level, Drew.
Yeah.
Well, from what we heard this morning as well, it's like after the contract was a little bit, tightened up a little bit, and then he loosened up, and now he's been hitting better recently. So hopefully he's on that trend. And, you brought the J.J. Hardy example up earlier, Drew, and it was very instructive that these guys you have long-term investment in them, and you can't judge them based on just a couple weeks. So you have to kind of be patient with them.
Patience
we are trying to win now, though. And I would think that's the flip side of what the point is also, Billy, is, well, he's also here to improve that position right now.
Yeah, trying to get him better a little bit.
Good point.
And as much as Rengifo and Ortiz struggled at different times, like they had their hot streaks too. It's the ebb and flow. It's,
Rengifo hit himself into a decent amount of bad luck.
True.
Is that fair? Like you watch all of the at bats that he's had some, especially early. It felt like he had a lot of sharp contact.
What's his BABIP?
That's the question to have.
Better look.
Get the deep cuts on Luis Rengifo.
Yeah, because it's probably lower than average. But yeah, to your point, that's.
He's also. I looked at him as more the stopgap anyway. So
absolutely, it's not like they spent a ton of money on him.
No, nothing.
Nothing that's
intense that they were grabbing him.
No.
I'm fascinated for how many jerseys end up going here tonight for Cooper Pratt. Do they have him ready? What number does he rock? Because Armen really cares about this in football. He gets very mad when you see players, big skill guys. We say big skill when you're talking about like defensive linemen, tackles, things like that, tight ends. Doesn't like when big skill guys are wearing smaller numbers. Most people say, hey, if you're going to be on the infield, Drew, you better be rocking an under 20 jersey. You better in something sweet. Brewers don't have a ton available. Is he going to run out there in Agent Zero?
Well, if he's not,
are we going to see him wearing the 12, which they've had as much of the revolving door of any human being?
It's the 0. Yeah, Terang was 0 for a year and then switched to 2.
Once that one became available, he goes, thank you very much. I'm going to take that one right there.
So a lot of Brewer fans.
Or are people going to be skittish? Are people going to be a little gun shy? Because a year ago, they went to a certain debut of a young man named Jacob Mizorowski who threw 5 no-hit innings in his debut, and they said, holy smokes, give me a 33 Jacob Mizorowski jersey. And then the next day, he's flipped to 32. So there might be some folks that are a little gun shy onto which one you're grabbing, and if you're buying the jersey here tonight, if you're there at Cooper Pratt Day.
Great observation. I forgot about that. But then again, aren't you also like advertising that you were a real one, fan-wise? Like, I was on the inside. I got him for this first original number.
You can tell yourself that.
I'm an OG. Well, some
tell
people
yourself
would.
that.
Yeah, you can tell yourself that.
I got his OG number. What were you guys around?
There's also somebody that walks by you wearing a 33 Mizorowski jersey and goes, wow, DH Gate really messed that one up.
Which is very possible. Or Fanatics.
So,
let's not forget, if you have like the Hank Aaron number 5 jersey, because he first came up as number 5.
Cooper Pratt's got a big bank account. Does he go up to Jake Bowers and try to buy number 9 from him?
Oh, that would be sweet.
How much does that
Jake
number
Bowers,
mean to him? That's the question.
Jake Bowers having a great season.
Oh, yeah.
Jake Bowers could end up being an all-star and have a number change and grab a little bit of a coin there.
Cooper Pratt's got more zeros in his bank account than Jake Bowers does.
Yes. Really? Yep. That's unquestioned. Not only from this contract, but he grabbed a nice little sizable one when they drafted him, right? That was one of the reasons why he kind of slid down was the signability
They signed
question.
him like kind of over slot like they did. Yeah. So, well, stay tuned. Who was it we were just talking about? What someone offered or didn't offer for a jersey? It was in the NFL. Who was it? Was it Cam Newton? No, somebody.
Well, the Abdul Carter one was the one that frustrated the hell out of me a year ago. Of my man was going to the New York Giants, and all he wanted to do was play in a jersey that was retired. There's a reason why it is a retired number. No, you're not taking the 56 off of the facade and wearing Lawrence Taylor's number. How about you find a new one and then wear
and make
that
it your
one?
own?
Oh, wait, I can't also have number 11 because what, did this Phil Simms guy win a Super Bowl or something?
Right, and like find a different battle to fight. Like, this is not good. Why do you care so much about the number? Like, it is kind of weird. Like, yeah, I get that you like a number and you might have a preference, but it's not that important. It's just the number, and these are the two best players in that franchise history. Why don't you try and maybe acquiesce yourself to the franchise a little bit? Like, be smart about it. But I guess if some guys want to do that for a number, so be it. I think some guys are happy to take their number and give them their number to get a number on a check. I think they're happy to get that. Like, you know, I remember when John Yurkovich gave 92 to Reggie White. He didn't mind. It was like, basically they just told him you're giving this number to him. But
yeah, by the way, you're going to switch.
I'm trying to find out what numbers Cooper Pratt wore his whole career. Was it always number 9?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I just know in Nashville.
Just now in Nashville, he's been number 9.
So it's like maybe it doesn't matter to him, but like
number 18 would be available.
That's not bad. But like, don't put him also when he comes up. Like, you think he's going to be that guy. Don't put him in number 68 or something.
Well, he was rocking 87 in spring training.
87's tough. That's the tough. Any number in the 80s.
You'll be your own man, though.
That's a good point. Aaron Judge is 99.
Why don't you go make 78 famous?
Josh Hader was doing it with 73, right? Like
71, but close.
71.
Yep.
Sorry, 71. Sorry, I forgot the 70s, whatever that Josh Hader was in. We're still not giving away 17, right? Jim Gantner, we're still not giving that away to anybody.
No, that's not.
It's unretired, but it's retired. It's unofficially
retired. It's unofficially retired. They haven't issued it.
I would like him to just go completely off the wall, and all of a sudden he runs out there in like a 49.
Something like that, yeah.
Maybe he should, because Murph also did have a run there where he kept getting his number taken.
Could be 63 because he's like the 63rd prospect.
I like that one as well. Yeah, I like that one as well. You got to find something
number
interesting.
50 for his 8 years and $50 million.
There you go. Well, wouldn't that be something?
Not much I can't buy with $50 million.
Zero seems
dropping
good, though.
a classic Ryan Braun right there.
For a shortstop, 0 seems good. And 0's like, it's a cool number to have now. Matthew Golden wanted it really bad. That was his 3rd number, if you remember.
What about the one I just mentioned there? And I kind of accidentally did it. Is 8 available?
Ooh,
oh, my goodness.
That's another one that we're waiting on.
Now you hit on a discussion.
Yeah, waiting on that one.
If he asks for it, I would be interested because I still believe Braun's number is going to end up on that stadium sooner rather than later.
I think so. I think you're right.
Well, Pat Listash wore 4, didn't he? And I think Paul blessed it before it was retired. He's like, yeah, he can wear it. I could be wrong on that story.
No, he didn't. I thought Listash wore 16 and
he did, but he wore 4 at one point. I thought this was a story.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up there.
Look it up.
Come on, Armen. You throwing misinformation out here?
No.
Ron and Stella said
1996 he wore 4.
Come on now.
I have, and then it was retired. Ron and Stella said I have a 0 Terang jersey. I'll wait for a bit to consider a Pratt jersey in case he changes numbers.
Well, that was the best. When Terang switched numbers, this is the best thing that happened to all the value seekers like
if Jake Bowers is gone next year, then Pratt might get his number.
Then he might jump over there.
Sure.
Might do it.
I still think you go find something different. I like the 63. I like 63. It adds up to 9.
There you go.
There's some more synergy there that we could do. Or just throw something completely off the wall, run out there in 75 and see what happens.
All right, why not? I mean, hell, if he's good, I don't care.
What the hell? As long as he's good. 877-794-1973. We're going to get to a wake and bake story, but we first got to tell you about Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. If you've got an injury in your family, injured high school or youth sports athlete, if you hurt yourself playing pickleball, if you just have nagging degenerative problems in your elbow, ankle, wrist, back, knee, hip, go see the experts. World-class care right here at home. OrthoWisconsin.com is the website. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. We're going to be back to Wake and Bake. That's next. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Oh, baby, closing ceremonies have arrived here. The Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, Drew, Billy, and Armen with you 5 to 8 every day. Time for our Wake and Bake story brought to us by HappyPlaceHemp.com. Rob and Chris make great products, part of our daily lifestyle. Make it part of yours. Go to HappyPlaceHemp.com, fill your cart, use the code HUDDLE, 25% off and free shipping every time you go to the well. Billy, what do you got for a Wake and Bake story?
Well, you know what? The Wake and Bake story is your boy may have already spoiled his Wake and Bake story earlier on today because I got way too excited and it was just one of the funniest things that I may have ever seen. I had to talk about it earlier on here today. The Wake and Bake story is how can you ruin one of the great moments in all of baseball, the 13th cycle in Cubs history last night, albeit comes in a win, a walk-off victory that might be what turns the tide for the folks in Chicago. They're asking that today on the score. Is this the win that flips the scales and changes the equation and immediately puts the Cubs back on the winning way? Because their stud, their man, they're 140 million?
Something like that.
60 million? Center fielder, Pete Crow Armstrong yesterday hits for the cycle. The reverse cycle goes homer, triple, double, single. As he stands on first base, Drew gives a tip of the hat in the 7th inning. Adoring crowd at Wrigley Field before the next pitch is thrown to the man sitting in the 2-hole. Pete Crow Armstrong is promptly picked off of first base.
That was unbelievable. In a 2-1 game in the 7th.
In a 2-1 game that the Cubs were winning in the 7th. Then in the top half of the 8th inning, how do you answer that if you're the Colorado Rockies? Well, you hit a 3-run homer and all of a sudden flip the scoreboard around. The Cubs do end up winning it. PCA, I think in the 8th inning it was.
The sac fly.
Had a sac fly to
tie it up or
bring them together, and then they walk it off in the 9th. But what a moment, what a time. And Drew, does that fall into the that's baseball category?
There you go. That'll come at you quick, man. Game will humble you in a hurry.
Humbles folks like nobody's business.
Can I do an honorable mention for Wake and Bake here?
Yes.
Please do.
There's also an article that's out now about, in New York Knicks. Listen, we're on the Knicks celebration tour. I get it. Everyone's going to be into this Knicks thing, and that's great. And then the article pops up. New York Knicks owner James Dolan delivered an impassioned speech in front of his team before the playoffs, imploring the players to seize the opportunity and asking that they make certain sacrifices to achieve their goal of winning a championship.
The video's hilarious.
The video released Monday on the podcast Roommate Show, hosted by Jalen and Josh Hart. Now, listen, really quick. I guess my point here is we're not doing this. I'm not giving James Dolan any credit for some sort of speech. Are you kidding me? Is that what we're doing? I mean, I know we're going to celebrate, and now everyone's going to get a rosy story and a rosy glow. We're not giving James Dolan credit.
You're not going to let him have his victory lap?
No. He can have his
Come on,
victory
Charles
lap.
Oakley.
It's just the idea that now they're going to start and say, well, it was his speech that inspired
Oh,
the
yeah.
players.
No, it
Give me
wasn't.
a break.
It was his ham-handed handling of franchise matters that kept them buried as long as it was.
Thank you, Drew, for putting it as succinctly and perfectly as you possibly could. Dolan asked Knicks for a sacrifice.
The sacrifice. Now, did you see the video?
I didn't get a chance to see. I saw like some of it on silent. I had to look at it.
You got to see the video.
captions.
You got to see the video, and it is again. I am with you. That is not the reason they won. However, when he promises, you go tell your wife, your girlfriend, you find somebody here for the 10-week run that will be by your side, they're going to get a ring too. He goes, because they're on this pursuit too. I'll make sure I buy every single one of them rings because they're sacrificing too for you.
It's so funny.
He had one of those great moments where he repeated everything he said twice.
And he had
where
the
like
notes.
he said it for impassion and then let me make sure that you hear it again.
And he had notes.
He did. He had notes. He was fired up, and his feet were dangling off the training table while it was happening.
It's
It was
super.
awesome.
Listen, if you're a Knicks fan, it's super cool. Every part of this is going to be cool. Just like when the Bucks won, I was soaking up every part of anything someone wanted to give me. But how many people give speeches like that really quick that we never hear about because they don't work?
True.
Okay, that's all.
Well, the one thing about this is that the Knicks snapped a long drought, and just as when the Bucks did, you get the stories of the longest droughts championship in sports history. Sacramento Kings, 75 years. Atlanta Hawks, 68 years. Utah Jazz, 51 years. LA Clippers, 55 years, and the Phoenix
They got
Suns,
aspiration though.
Phoenix Suns, 57 years. NFL, Arizona Cardinals, 78 years.
Oh my God.
Detroit Lions, 68 years. No,
That one I really enjoy. 68 years.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure that we continue to let
You
people
wonder.
remember
They won in 57.
There are some teams that will never win. You know,
Yep.
you wonder.
Tennessee Titans, 64 years. Los Angeles Chargers, 62 years. Cleveland Browns, 61 years. Buffalo Bills, 60 years. Atlanta Falcons, 60 years. Cincinnati Bengals, 58 years. New York Jets, 57 years. Minnesota Vikings, 57 years.
Let's go.
They beat the
There we
Browns
go.
in the 69 NFL championship game, the last one before the merger.
Wow, but there was a Super Bowl that year.
And the Dolphins,
So we ain't gonna do all that.
52 years. So, and then you get to MLB, the Guardians in town tonight,
Yes.
77 years.
Oh, this one's sad for us, though.
Milwaukee Brewers, 57 years.
All right. Come on. This is the year.
And Brewers and Padres in lockstep of 57 years.
Hold on, please. So 57 years.
No World Series.
Could somebody remind me as to when the Milwaukee Braves won the World Series?
1957?
Come on now.
Hey.
Oh, and in the NHL, by the way.
57 years in, 1957. There we go. That's
the
when we win it.
franchise in the NHL, the Toronto Maple Leafs, 59 years.
And they won it the worst.
Buffalo
That's the worst
Sabres,
one.
55. Vancouver Canucks, 54. And the Philadelphia Flyers, the Broad Street Bullies, once a dominant dynasty, have gone 51 years without a Stanley Cup.
I thought they just won it.
So that's a lot of long-ass droughts.
And Mitch Marner was so close to being able to stick that dagger in those Maple Leafs fans.
Unbelievable.
Stupid Knights.
All right, so I think tomorrow we'll be talking about Cooper Pratt and Brewers guards, and we'll continue the Giannis watch.
Yeah.
Nice that the NFL has receded into the hedges for just a little while, although I guess they're trying.
Yeah, they're trying desperately with a supplemental draft and a George Pickens storyline. Hey, Cooper Pratt, don't go 0 for 4 tonight. We want people to celebrate
That's
tomorrow.
right. We will see you tomorrow at 5.
Peace.